Showtime in 60 seconds. "45 seconds. "30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
The Tucker Carlson Network. He's doing full-blown documentaries. You know, he's doing interviews that are getting 60 and 70 million views.
Did you see that?
It's a good show on Fox did 4 million.
Did you see that politician had said that Tucker's being funded by the Russian government?
Yeah, they said a lot of guys are. Alex Stein's funded by the Russian government.
I mean, you know, we're funded by the Indiana Mafia.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Welcome. As I was preparing today, the guys were rolling in, and Lummy, I had I tried to squeeze out a little bit of a fart, and I could feel that it was going to be solid, so I was able to catch it. And that's why I was 5 minutes late to the meeting, so I apologize. Monday, October 21st. Myself, Lummy, Dan, Seth, Macho Man, Rhett, behind the glass, ready to serve you in every way, shape, or form. Lummy, are you familiar? Is that why Wolf Fencing is coming to the facility to shore up that fencing that separates us and Brinks?
Yes,
us and AAA.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
It's not very stable, is it?
No, it is not.
Is he gonna fix it?
Yeah, and put up the black tarp and everything.
Well, I mean, the black tarp's important, but the stability of the fence is not good.
Yeah, he's gonna shore that up.
Okay.
He's gonna do it all on Wednesday.
I was over here on yesterday, as a matter of fact, doing a few things, and I went out there. I let Bella go goating, which she loves. The goats hate more than anything. And she always picks on Baby because Hootie will absolutely give her concussion protocol. But I went by boy, there's a lot of sticks back there. We took a ton of stickage on, did we not?
Yeah, and Average Joe's going to be getting those on Tuesday when he comes.
Now, are we going to be able to get that big limb out of the pond?
Yeah, yeah.
And secondly, are you familiar with the little bubbler doesn't seem to be working?
It's on a timer.
Oh,
so
it is?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the bottom bubbler?
Yeah, not the big fountain, the little bubbler. I thought the little bubbler ran all the time.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'll look at that. I thought you were talking about the fountain. Sorry.
No, the fountain is the big, that's the thing that keeps everything, that's a must. That really aerates the water. And Creatine Travis fixed it.
Yes, he did.
A while back, but
yeah, I'll take a look at it. It might be just clogged up.
What do you mean clogged up?
Like a little mud or the leaves got into it, so
To
it
me,
cuts it down.
to me, it feels like an electrical issue. It feels like it won't even. I tried rewiring it and maybe plugging it into something.
Okay.
But there's man, one thing's plugged into another, then it's plugged into like a three-way, and then it goes three different ways. The plug-in situation back there is a mess. But whatever.
I'll take a look at it.
All right.
Shouldn't be a problem.
How are everything's going for you?
Good.
You going to the game tonight?
Yes, I am.
Dan, are you hosting a whole bunch of people tonight?
I'll be there. Yeah, absolutely.
Are Monday nights not tough for you guys for, having the quick turnaround for Tuesdays?
Oh, it hurts.
But it's a big game. It's Monday Night Football. The Ravens. I mean, this is big time
It's
stuff.
huge.
Yeah. Is it the Ravens favored?
Yeah, 3.5.
Really?
Yes.
Even though the Bucks are is it 4-2 or 5-2?
4.
4-2. They're favored, huh?
Yeah, they are. It's okay. Bucks coming on underdogs.
Now, will the Bucks will sell out?
Oh
yeah, it's sold out.
I mean, now when Brady came, it was we had prior to Brady some lean years, and then with the Jameis Winston, what did we go from Jameis Winston to who was Brady?
It was
Right,
Brady.
right
It was,
after Jameis.
Jameis to the Brady.
Right
What an upgrade that was, huh?
But from the last couple of years of Jameis, it was my understanding we didn't even the stadium didn't even sell out.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
The year he was throwing 30 picks.
Yeah, but I think when people wanted the season tickets when Brady came, I think they locked you in for 5 years after that.
Yeah,
They
changed
tried
it.
to. And then everyone, when he retired the first time, everyone gave up tickets, and then he came back, and people were really regretting that.
right. Now, if it's not sold out, they do a blackout, a 50 or 60 mile an hour blackout.
Yes, they do.
60 mile an hour.
They haven't done that in years, Bubba. I don't even know if that's an NFL rule, but I know that the Glazers were just ended up buying up all the tickets when that was still a thing.
It's still a rule, but yeah, the Glazers
Is
are
it
buying
really
the
still a
tickets.
rule? Is it really still a rule?
Yes, it is.
And is there any I got to think that maybe the Browns don't sell out.
The Chargers were getting blacked out before they left San Diego.
They did.
Yeah.
So now they're in LA. Right?
Yes.
Now are the Chargers good this year?
Oh, they played tonight too.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, it's a double whammy.
Of course.
Why do they do that?
I hate that.
That's a great question.
But why don't
they
why
didn't
don't
do
you,
it the week before.
But why they're inconsistent on why they do that.
We got something for the East Coast and something for the West Coast. It's Arizona and Los Angeles, and then we got Tampa Bay and Baltimore over here.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like, as much as they're spreading out to Thursday games and various other games, you could, spread that out even thin, have a Friday. Lummy, I was actually, remember the one Friday game they had?
Yes.
I was told that there's actually, because of high school football, that there's actually a rule within the NFL that states that they can't run on Fridays except after November something or something. I was told that there was an actual rule, an actual Friday television broadcast rule within the NFL.
Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961.
Yes, you're right. See,
Yep.
the sports broadcast. Now, was it a congressional thing or a U.S. government thing? That's the way? What's it called again?
Yes,
the Sports
Broadcasting Act of 1961.
Yeah, read it for me.
When the law was put into place, it essentially locked the NFL out of playing games on Friday or Saturday in order to protect attendance at high school and college football games.
But meanwhile, they just boss. During the playoff. Well, but maybe because
It's playoffs, so everything's over.
Well, not only that, but football and college during playoffs. The playoffs are usually mid-December, late December, early January, and most college and football programs are, colleges are in their bowl swing, and high school football ends by by Thanksgiving for the most part. Even the state championships of most states in high school football are Thanksgiving to the first weekend of December. So maybe that's why, Lummy, the NFL.
The NFL had the second game of the year, the Packers-Eagles, for a Friday night in Brazil.
Yeah, that's how,
I don't think that any
Hold on. Where was that broadcast at? Was that on Prime?
Yes, I think it was on Prime.
Maybe they can get away with it, Seth, because it's not on broadcast TV. It's on streaming. Maybe they get you this.
That's why they did it that way, probably.
And the act states that the NFL may not broadcast a game within 75 miles of a high school or college football game. So
so they're in Brazil. So they're like, man, we're 7,500 miles away from the nearest, Key West high school football game, right?
Yeah, they go to Cuba and do it.
Yeah. So anyway, and it was probably and again, let me the broadcast football rule of 1961 probably doesn't address the streaming issue. Broadcasting something over the big three, the big four, Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, is probably what they're talking about. And streaming, I mean, was there even streaming in 1961?
I don't think so.
But like, Dan, wasn't the internet invented by college professors that would talk amongst each other about different ideas?
Yankee Jib, $10.
Isn't that? It was my understanding that that's how the internet was invented through college professors. No, not Al Gore.
They did it. They started off with medicine, and all the medicine was put online and put in one place where it was searchable. And then the university started doing it again on another type of bandwidth, and that was the precursors to the internet.
Was college.
It was education. It was education. It was colleges. It was universities. It was scientists sharing information. Now any dumbass can have access to it.
Well, I mean, look at how far the internet has grown.
Oh yeah,
oh, my
it makes
God.
Bertrand look like a genius.
I mean, well, no, not. I mean, I'm not taking hacks at Brian like you are, but
he can take hacks at me every day, all day long. But I can take one little joke. Doesn't even mean.
You can take all the hacks you want, my friend.
He did have a legitimate hack that was posted on Instagram, Bubba, where he was calling out Dan for his storm preparation. So there is a little
was him eating the banana?
There's a back and forth that's kind of going on right now.
No, there was a back or a forth. I didn't even know.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, if you want to respond to that too.
You might want to maybe send it to me, Seth, so that Dan can see it.
Okay.
We can actually broadcast. Was it Brian taking a hack at Dan's storm prep?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of people that took a hack at Dan's storm prep, including his wife and family. Meaning, I think a lot of people, Dan, are critical of you booking a hotel, not in the A or the B zone, but actually in the V zone, which is worse than the A or B, which is called the velocity zone, which means you're literally built on the water. When you booked your hotel at the Grand Hyatt or whatever.
Yeah, but it's a fortress and it didn't have any damage, so it would have been safe. It was stupid.
But they didn't. They probably didn't have power, unless
they have generators. Of course, they did. They had power.
Can you imagine the generator size you would need, Lummy, to power an entire hotel? Like maybe one of those 75 kW ones, or ones that are the size of like a pickup truck or something.
They probably have a few.
Yeah, you're right.
They probably have a few.
By the way, Lummy, you got to give me Jeff from Generac.
Yes.
You got to give me his number.
Okay.
Because my sister's interested.
Yeah.
In getting one, and she wants to get the best deal possible.
Of course.
And didn't Jay do his through Jeff from Generac?
He sure did.
Jay and Steve both did, I believe. They did.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Steve with Papa Joe House?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, does Steve have one at right there on the Getty, so to speak? No. One would think that that's the first place you would
We
build.
never lose power. We've lost power for 2 hours total for the last 20 years.
Well,
except for this last storm.
Except for this last storm.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it happened one time.
I know, but man, Dan.
All of Tampa south of Euclid lost power, and all of Tampa north of
but let's say it cost $15,000 all in.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me right now that you wouldn't have paid $15,000 5 years ago in order to have a badass Generac at either one of at your current home because you were in a hotel for what, 6 days?
5.
5 days.
Plus 2 days with no power.
Plus 2 days with no power. So 7. Bitch, you'd be writing that check right now if you could 5 years ago, if you would have known. I don't know that.
And then I would have been in line with all the other ass clowns that couldn't keep the generators running for 5 days straight.
Oh, there's a lot of people that kept them running for 5 days straight.
A lot of people that had problems trying to keep it running for 5 days straight. They're great when they cut in, but for 5 days straight, they require oil and all these other problems.
You don't realize how badass they are until you. It's like you. You don't. You know what? You think Dan's a dick until you need him. Well, you think that Generac's a little expensive until you're running like you got full air, full cape, full everything for 7 straight days. That was your most miserable 7 days, probably the last few years.
Yeah, and I would have still stayed at the hotel for 4 of those days. So it was the last 3 days it would have made a difference.
Really?
That would have been nice. Well, during the pre-storm and the day after, yeah.
I sent you the Matroni video.
Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, I definitely would have stayed in the hotel those 3 days at least.
Why?
Well, Tuesday night we were leaving. Wednesday night was the storm. Thursday night it was just still a disaster. And by Friday I would have moved back into the house instead of on Sunday.
Hold on, let me play this for Dan. Hold on, let me turn it up here. Oh, hold on.
Just roughing it for the Shamu ears.
All right, here we go.
Bet you got some Shamu ears.
If his roughing it for the
Shamu ears. Hey, yeah, you heard me.
If his roughing it for the storm was staying at the JW Marriott and taking his family to SeaWorld,
and then they got kicked out.
They only had 2 restaurants open there.
Do you know Dan had to go to a La Quinta?
Because he failed. Because he's a moron and booked a waterfront resort the day before a hurricane.
Now.
Oh. Yeah.
Moron,
Dan.
Yeah, well.
Whatever, right?
Yeah, what can I say? It was a mistake. I still wake up, though, and I'd rather be me than him. So he can enjoy Orlando all he wants.
He can enjoy his little banana and making fun of your name.
Exactly.
Making fun of
Keep chewing the banana, chimp.
Tonight, Ravens, Buccaneers. Monday Night Football's got a doubleheader. Buccaneers host. Buccaneers at home. Let me, is it me or is it the Buccaneers had a lot of home games this year?
Yes.
I think they played 6 games this year and 4 of them have been home.
Yeah, and they play next week at home too, and then they go.
Oh my God! So hold on. This will be the 7th game of the year, right?
Correct.
This is their 4th home game. So if you go to the 8th game of the year, they'll have 5 home games.
Yes.
That means they're going to be on the road more than they're home.
They sure are.
Oh, what? And of course, probably what? They got to be in New Orleans.
No, they already went to New Orleans. New Orleans is at home. It's the last game, and Carolina. That's their last 2 games. They go away to Kansas City.
Oh.
New York for the Giants.
Okay, hold on. That's not scary.
If it's cold, it is.
Yeah,
it's November.
but still.
the Bucs have to play Kansas City and Baltimore in the same.
And San Francisco.
Oh, all away?
San Francisco's at home November 10th.
San Fran's here.
They're banged up, man.
They're really banged up. Christian ain't coming back this year, is he?
No, and
He's
Brandon
done.
Ayuk tore his ACL.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So who do they got? Who do they have home left? Carolina.
They got Carolina, San Francisco, Vegas, and the Saints.
Oof.
And away they have Kansas City, New York Giants, Chargers, and Dallas.
I'm not really a big Buck fan, but I would love for the Bucks to beat Dallas in Dallas. That will make Jerry Jones lose his shiz.
No, we beat them. Was it last year?
Yeah,
badly.
That was here though, I think.
No, I thought it was in Texas.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago in Texas.
Jerry Jones already did lose it. Remember we played his audio last week where he was saying, I'll get somebody to ask me these questions.
He was telling Odyssey that they're going to have to replace their morning show. And here's the thing, man. I watched it. I watched the entire thing because I wanted to see if the host was being a horse's ass.
No.
And the horse and the host, by the way, he's been the same host that's been doing these call-ins with Jerry. It's part of their broadcast package. and for the 15 years. So the guy has an established relationship with Jerry. Jerry calls in, I think, this guy's show on Mondays, and then I think maybe the afternoon drive show on Fridays.
I mean, it's mostly been all bad times in the last 15 years for the Cowboys, hasn't it? So, I mean, it's not like they're used to having fun calls.
Right, and here's the thing, like, if you're going to be now, there's not an owner in the league that calls a radio station up and talks about their team. Now, a head coach or a general manager, that's in bounds. So, Jerry, as an owner, you have every right. Well, first of all, like, no owners call stations.
No.
So, but you, because you got to be the general manager, because you're Jerry Jones, every question the guy asked you was so in bounds and not a got you or trying to, stumble you up. He was asking about your last couple drafts. Has that, led up to your guys' current, plight, if you will? It's a very inbounds question. Was it rude? Wasn't made to trip you up? Wasn't any of that. And then you just flip out because because the guy's right. At the end of the day, the guy's right.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's right. The guy's dead on. It's a great question. It's a hard question, but it's a dead on question. And you flip out to the point where you threaten the guy, which you guys worked for Odyssey which was CBS prior to that, for 15 years, and you're going to tell him, what, are you going to call the general manager? Or, I don't know. Well, let's not forget George Soros owns Odyssey. I don't know if Jerry's a Republican or a Democrat.
Oh, he's a Republican.
Okay, well, there you go.
I can't imagine he likes George Soros.
So, I mean, that's who that's who owns Odyssey. You can't call, the CEO or the president of programming or even the local general manager or program director of that station and have them, fire their 15-year plus very successful morning show because the guy asked you an uncomfortable question. And it's like Shay, Stephen A. Smith, Mike Goldie. I don't know if McAfee commented on it, but nobody. I've not seen anybody in the sportscasting world stick up for Jerry. Everybody is like, man, Jerry, you really showed your ass. And if you don't want to get asked the hard questions, then do one or two things. Let Mike McCarthy or somebody else call in. Or B, don't be the general manager anymore. Let somebody, that's what the Cowboys really true. Nobody wants to talk about the 800-pound elephant, but the Cowboys' problems are the fact that Jerry Jones doesn't know how to draft. Jerry Jones.
Well, I think it's him and his son now too. So I think that power struggle's
it's
fun.
It's a duo, so it's not going so well.
Like you guys, I mean,
you got two Jerry Jones in there arguing with each other.
Remember the deal they gave Ezekiel, and let's not forget they could have got Derrick Henry this year instead of but they brought back tired ass Ezekiel, which is doing nothing.
He sucks.
Meanwhile, I think Derrick Henry is lighting it on fire right now.
Well, Ezekiel was being paid to sit at home, so they decided to bring him back.
You gave Dak Prescott the biggest deal. Who's their wide receiver? CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you got some players.
They didn't have money. They didn't have money for him because they have to sign Micah Parsons in the offseason. So, I mean, they didn't have anything to give to a running back.
All of your issues, all of your personnel issues is stem from your inability to be a general manager. You need a good general manager that can look at things differently. You draft on emotions. You re-sign or don't sign free agents on emotions. And isn't he the only owner that is dual role as a GM? Robert Kraft isn't the GM. With the Woody Wilson or whatever the guy's name is for the Jets, he's not the GM.
No.
The McCaskey woman who's barely alive, McCaskey Hallis, is it Georgia McCaskey? Virginia McCaskey Hallis, who I think is the granddaughter of George Hallis. They have a general manager. I mean, everybody's got a general manager except the Cowboys. The Cowboys was the only situation where the owner don't blame McCarthy, which you could, I guess. Don't blame necessarily the players. Let's blame the guy that's making the roster. because the roster inevitably is what determines how good you are.
No, I disagree with that. I think the coach has a lot to do with it too. And, the roster, they have a decent roster. They're not like lacking for players. They have a horrible coach, and I think Dak Prescott's a joke.
Okay, well,
but
Dak Prescott just got signed the largest contract for any quarterback in the history of the league.
Right.
That goes on your general manager. So all the money you gave Dak Prescott, all the guaranteed money that you gave him, and however long, I call it Deshaun Watson syndrome, however long he's got to sit around there was because Jerry Jones gave him that deal. And so it is personnel. I mean, listen, it's the common denominator aren't all these coaches. The common denominator is Jerry Jones cannot evaluate, personnel.
So you think they have a bad roster? Do you think their personnel is in the bottom third?
I think no. I think their personnel is probably in the top half. But you've cut some unbelievable one-sided contracts. Let's not forget when they gave Ezekiel wasn't he the highest paid running back at the time?
Neil Malpazier, $20. Yes.
And now they gave Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback contract of all time. And you had an opportunity to bring back tired ass retread Ezekiel, who went on to play for, I don't know, one or two different teams, or bring back Derrick Henry, who's got a lot more gas in his tank.
They're paying Zeke $1 million. I mean, they could not afford Derrick Henry because of all the money they're paying everybody else.
They gave Dak. Yeah, so whatever. Cowboys, the common denominator of them not being successful is Jerry Jones.
I think Jerry Jones also is kind of relying on the way the NFL was 20 years ago, where there was some loyalty and some family. It felt like a family. And it's not like that anymore. Everyone's just a mercenary. It's just like that in college. No one's got loyalty to their college. They all go to the portal. And no one's got loyalty to their teams in the NFL anymore because they've learned in college it just doesn't matter. You go where the deal is best.
Did you guys see? Let me see if you can find the press conference for me. We can play it on the backside.
All right.
Did you see where I think the coach from either Virginia, the head coach for Virginia quit? He quit because he cannot coach within this current world of the portal. The portal.
Oh, he must have not been getting the good players then.
In the NIL. Yeah, I don't know if he quit on the spot or he's going to ride the rest of the year out. But he's a pretty young guy, and he's like, I cannot be effective, and I cannot do my job as a coach under the current situations of this portal, NIL, all this kind of deal. It's not the way I was brought up. It wasn't the way I learned how to coach. In fact, it's all new to everybody. Nobody, none of Nick Saban's assistants learned how to navigate through the portal and all this collective and NIL money. And then let me the guy from Oklahoma State. Who's the real popular guy from Oklahoma State? Remember the one time he flipped out? And
Mike Gundy.
Yeah. Let me go to Words Lummy and find me the Mike Gundy interview. And he, last week, broke down how college football could fix itself. And then the guy from Virginia flat out quit. He quit. I don't know if he quit, like he's done and like he's done, or he's going to run the rest of the season out. See if you can find those two for me. All right, buddy.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Fucking players, man. Did you see, Lummy, where everybody from Texas gets a Lamborghini?
No, I did not.
All starters?
Really?
Why?
Because they cut an NIL deal with Lamborghini of Austin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unconscionable.
Let me know when you send them, Lummy.
Stuff bubbles with God, triple lips, stack of dog, roll over after birth. EMT. I'm pro-human. Never trust a fire after 40. Almost green rice. Yep, Terry. I agree.
Oh, was it Virginia's football coach or their basketball coach?
Something like T.
Maybe it was a basketball guy. Maybe it was a basketball.
I saw a basketball coach highlight crying Friday. Is that what we're talking about?
Here we go.
They just can't do it if you can't put 100% of your heart into it. Was that the guy?
Did you see Virginia's basketball coach step down?
That might have been it.
Iggy. Good morning.
Yeah.
Slow there.
Tony Bennett.
I'll probably say yes something. You know, I'm up this year. One. Mark Hutchinson.
I think I found it. I found it, Lummy.
Okay.
I found him. So just find me the
Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how long the Mike Gundy one is?
Here.
I don't about 10 minutes.
You still look the same photo as with you here and for this uniform.
Coach Tony Bennett. Coach Tony Bennett. Hey.
Mike Gundy. Press conference. How to fix college football. It was the
Was that the BYU game?
I think so.
And BYU's got a nice stadium backdrop.
Do they?
The fucking mountains and shit. Yeah, somebody took a great picture of it this weekend. Okay, what are they in Utah?
Strong and
BYU?
quarterback made a couple plays. I mean, especially for the second half. And with the effort ready for the next game, it's just our job. It's
That
just what
wasn't
we do.
it.
And I think they understand that.
Williams. One.
Here we go. I got it. I found it.
There's just a few things. It's a simple process. College football needs a commissioner.
I got it.
So there's just a...
And by the way, I love this dude. I've always liked him. And hasn't he, for the most part, been pretty successful at OSU?
Yeah. He's the longest tenured
Pac-12
D1 coach?
Yeah.
Is he really?
For Power 5 or whatever you want to call it.
Lummy, I walked into my fucking parents' house on Saturday night, and I thought my dad would be watching Texas, Georgia, and he had on North Dakota versus North Dakota State.
What?
Division. I said, Dad, there's another game on.
Dad, there's 1 versus 3 on.
He was watching Division 2.
That was a fucking shootout too, wasn't it?
Did he get lost in the channels?
No, he just likes weird
That's
stuff.
obscure.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios. Aquabito.com, promo code Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Appreciate y'all. Seth said that he walked in Saturday night, from 8 o'clock or whatever time the Texas-Georgia game started, was I don't know, 60% of all college football, 70% of all college football fans were watching, Texas hosting Georgia in a 1-4?
3 or 4, yeah.
1-4.
It was exciting.
Great game. Had Joe Rogan on the sidelines, had Matthew McConaughey, had all these stars. It was a hell of a game, although I did not appreciate the fact that the referees now succumbed to the crowd pressure.
Changing the pass interference.
Yeah, that was kind of tic-tacky. Now, I do think it was pass interference, but if it's not called on the field, I don't know. I don't know if in today's, can you stop the game, watch it, and then call a penalty?
Yeah, that's a rule until the next play starts. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth deporting people who throw stuff on a field?
Yes.
Deporting?
Well, I don't know about deporting, but
Big
at least
time,
throwing
Dan.
them out.
To a real foreign land no one's heard of.
So anyway, Seth walks into his dad Larry's house.
Well, I went out to Newport Richie, Bubba, to see my parents, at night, and I stopped by the 7-Eleven to get my core water, and then the cashier, was watching the game on his phone.
Sure.
And he's cussing. He's like, "Oh my God, sorry, I get carried away when I'm watching Georgia." And I go, "Oh my God, Georgia, Texas, what a game!" So then I got to my parents' house and I walked in. And my dad's watching North Dakota versus North Dakota State.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my glasses on, but it said one versus. It was another high ranking. I go, is this Division II? And he's like, yeah. I go, Georgia and Texas is on. He's like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Larry's watching North Dakota versus North Dakota State, which is the NCAA, 1AA division.
Yes, which only people in North Dakota were watching.
Right.
And my dad.
Well, I got to correct it. It was North Dakota State versus South Dakota State.
Oh, see, I told you I couldn't see Lummy.
It was
1-2. It was 1-2.
Hold on, Seth. Now you got to give Larry some credit. It was the Battle of the Dakotas.
I mean, actually,
he didn't want to miss that.
I mean, we should have been flipping back and forth. Now that Lummy told me that, I didn't know.
They're battling for the Dakota marker.
Huge upset Saturday night in Austin, and that is Georgia beats Texas. Texas at that point number 1. Georgia 3 or 5.
What do you think of those targeting rules? They kept getting players from Georgia getting disqualified.
I just think we have really powder puffed. You know what we need to do is I think all players need to wear those Guardian.
Oh, that's goofy.
No, it is goofy, Dan. It is, but it reduces. I forgot the percentage. I think I saw it around somewhere, but it reduces. And some NFL guys wear them. You can wear them.
I know. We're literally calling these guys pussies who are just trying to protect their brains.
Right. Dan, and I think if you saw the statistics, maybe you can, or maybe I can ask, girl. Good morning, Alexa. Alexa, good morning.
Get up.
Good morning. It's National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. I wonder how that makes pumpkin spice latte feel.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Hey, Alexa, how much does the Guardian helmet protection reduce concussions? You might be able to be being in this for me. She probably doesn't know. I probably didn't ask it correctly. She's not answering.
It's kind of a tough question to ask on a Monday.
It kind of is. It's kind of a tough question to ask in general.
You got her out of bed, and now you're just asking her about concussions.
And her first thing out of bed isn't anything to do with sports. It's about a pumpkin latte.
Yeah.
So, we're figuring this one out.
33%.
So hold on, Dan. It reduces concussion, or it reduces the impact by 33%. And it would look less goofy if everybody had them on. And to me, I think if I was a commissioner of the NFL or a much needed NCAA commissioner, 33%, Dan's quite drastic.
It is, and that's a good argument for putting big powder puff boxing gloves on MMA fighters.
No, it's not the same.
Sort of.
It's not the
sort
same.
of.
It's not the same.
I agree. I disagree with you respectfully. I disagree.
You know what?
But what they
Hold
could
on.
do, Bubba,
is because your fists are your two main weapons. Your head is not supposed to be your weapon of football. It's really not even supposed to really. They've taken your head out. They've taken your head out of the game.
Yes.
So why not protect it even further.
Okay, I have 2 points. First of all, if they were to say that that's a better idea, then they should incorporate a 1/4 inch of padding of softness on the outside of every helmet and make it look like it's integral instead of a goofy strap-on like it is now. It looks horrible, it looks stupid, it looks goofy. They can incorporate that to helmet design and make a soft helmet with a shell underneath that's hard and a 1/4 inch or 8 millimeters of soft padding, which would accomplish the same goal without looking like a goofball. Secondly, the fact that the running back can put his head down and you can't put your head down and hit him in the shoulder pad with your head is stupid.
I think that they have powder puffed and protect, like it's just such a discretionary call that cornerbacks that lead with their head and hit a guy on his shoulder pads or will shoulder pad a running back or wide receiver's head and get targeting rules. I don't think that the referees really have a grasp on what targeting is so arbitrary and that can be called on literally every play. But you know what? More importantly, they make it a position-related deal. And so if you're, again, great point. If you're a running back, if you're Derrick Henry, you can literally take your head and use it as a weapon and into that cornerback or that safety or that linebacker. But if you're a linebacker and you lead with your head and you hit a guy on the face mask or you hit, then you're instantaneously, you're going to get a targeting and maybe even a thrown out willy.
And a fine.
So, I think that they need to, whether they strap on the goofy Guardian deals or they incorporate all helmet manufacturing with that goofy thing. Here's the bad thing about it, Dan, is it's going to probably end up, if you incorporate it into the helmet and don't make it a strap-on willy, then it's going to get chunked out. There's going to be, after 4, 5, 6, 8, 9.
Buy a new one. Buy a new helmet. It's a couple $100. These guys are making $50 million a year. Buy a new freaking helmet.
That's not true. That's why the Bucks only buy a certain amount of helmets a year. But with the
what's not true?
The
helmet deal.
The helmet now, Dan, the average NFL helmet, some are $1,200.
Okay, so what? These guys are getting paid millions a year. What's $1,200?
The running back part is because the guy that the running back's hitting knows the impact's coming. When they usually target it when the person doesn't know that it's coming.
So anyway, I think the targeting thing is so unless listen, there are clear instances where there's targeting, like there is, but for the most part, man, it's an arbitrary call. It's based on your position, and I think that they should all be wearing. Even they look goofy, they should be all. The Packers played the Rams a couple weeks ago, and a couple of the Rams linemen had them on, and yes, you can tell that they look a little bit different, but man, I think they get that much more protection, and it only looks goofy when you're there's only 3 guys out of 22 that have them on, but if all 22 guys have them on, then it doesn't look so goofy. It just looks like it's the way it's supposed to go.
If anything, all the linemen should wear them.
Yeah.
They're hitting every single play.
Right. So listen, college football, man, is really, really, I think, well, first of all, I made a mistake, and I thought that the University of Virginia football coach quit, when really it was Tony Bennett, their basketball coach. Now, basketball, this is, I think, I don't know if it's the first. Whoa, look at all that. Let me see what happened to me there.
Now,
I don't know. It's like I just went offline completely. Let me see here.
Oh.
Man, I think I'm having a meltdown.
UVA men's basketball program back to national prominence and to our first.
So anyway, the NIL.
Back to national prominence.
The NIL deal is not just, listen, this is the first year that it's really become prevalent in college athletics, where the point where they say Shedeur Sanders is the number 1 paid NIL guy at $5 million, and these guys are making unbelievable deals. I saw a special from the Texas is redoing their facilities, and they supposedly cut a deal. I don't know how true this is. They supposedly cut a deal with Lamborghini of Austin, where like if you're a starter, you get a Lamborghini to drive for the school year. And so this NIL
do they
deal,
take them away after you lose, or you get to drag it no matter what.
I don't know the parameters of it, but
because Texas, I feel like they'd want their Lambos back after an L.
Yeah. There might not be anybody driving a Lambo today.
We saw that, Bubba. Remember we played the video a couple months ago of when somebody was pulling up to, I don't know what it was, and
Texas.
Yeah, they had all their Lamborghinis were parked out front. We weren't really sure what was going on.
And so the NIL deal is absolutely now is. It's in basketball too.
Of course.
It's not only in football now. We've not really been exposed to it in basketball. This will probably be the first big year of it, but recruiting and
we did have it a couple years ago because Angel Reese, Bubba, was gonna. They asked her if she was gonna go pro after LSU won the championship, and she said she makes more money in college.
Right. That's why she stayed her final year in college. So the head basketball coach who has brought Virginia, I guess, back into the competitive fold, resigned Friday because he cannot coach in today's environment.
NCAA championship. Tony has led the program.
All right, here we go.
Tony Bennett.
Is she the athletic director?
Yeah, she's the athletic director.
Thank you. Thanks. First, thank you, Carla. It's been a joy to work for you and be under your leadership.
And this is the first coach that has quit and cited NIL, and I can't coach, and I wasn't taught. My mentor, whoever that may be, we never had this NIL situation. Most head coaches were under like a Mike Krzyzewski or a Dean Smith.
Don't they say evolve or die?
Yeah. Well,
this guy just ended his, I guess.
Mike Krzyzewski, as good of a coach as he was, he wouldn't be able to navigate in today's environment. Nick Saban quit because of the NIL. He didn't say it, but he pretty much said it.
Yep.
Chip, and what you've done for this university.
The greatest NCAA coach of football, the greatest NCAA football coach in the history of NCAA football, Nick Saban. Even better than, the greatest of all time in Alabama prior, Paul Bryant. Quit because you can't deal with the portal, and the NIL has just turned into the Wild West. It's literally, who's got the most money.
University in your time here, President Ryan, thank you during this time, what you did. I see Craig Littlepage.
All right,
but
let's get out of here.
For 15 years as the head coach, and I thought it would be a little longer, to be honest, but that's been on loan. It wasn't mine to keep. This position has been on loan, and it's time for me to, excuse me, I knew that would happen. It's time for me to give it back. But to give it back, to gain what I can't lose, to be a better husband. I love Laurel with all my heart, and we're going to find out if you love me with all your heart, because I'm going to be around a lot more. To be a better dad. To my daughter Anna.
All right, let's talk about why you left, buddy.
My son Eli.
He's got his water in a can. See
he
that?
Sure does.
Aquafina's putting their water in a can. Don't think that I don't got my Aqua Beato right over here.
My parents are both 81 years old, and I don't want to live with any regrets. Just to be around them, to be a better friend.
All right, come on here.
And I've given everything I can for 15 years. And I go back to the reason why I came here. See if I could, with my staff, who's the reason why we've had this success, who are here.
Have they been better?
Oh, yeah, Virginia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Has this guy turned the program around?
Yes, he has.
All right.
Could build a program in our unique way to compete against the Blue Bloods. And I was so intrigued and excited about being at a school that had academic excellence, and the degree mattered, and it was important. And what happened, I hoped, I didn't know, was beyond probably my wildest expectations. To win 6 regular season ACC championships, 2 tournament championships, to be in Sweet 16s and Elite 8, win the national championship.
He won the national championship?
Yes.
And the hard losses.
2018.
The hard losses in the tournament. It's all part of it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And there's
you got a guy that won a national championship, which, the college basketball tournament is by far one of the, you got 64 teams, one of the toughest.
It's as hard as hockey.
Oh yeah, it's right there with hockey.
Chance if it would have happened without the young men and how we did it, and we did it in a unique way. That was my.
Yeah, but you can't do it that way anymore now. Now you got to give him Lambos.
He's a good guy too.
No, this guy's. The reason why I wanted to play this is because this guy comes across so genuine and so well spoken and so emotional and so great. And it's just when you got guys, really good guys, really good solid dudes that got this guy's relatively young, has a lot of gas left in his tank. And he's stepping down because of the shadiness of the NIL and the shadiness of the portal. Then what's that say for how healthy your sport is? This guy,
What about the hundreds of other coaches that have stayed?
No, I'm just saying. It's because
does he cite the NIL as a problem?
Yeah.
Because he was
Our
talking
vision
about
as a staff,
his desire to
build
build
this program that maybe is a little different than the way you win, and that's the beauty of this sport. And so I am so grateful. And I think about those pillars Carla mentioned in the first two, humility and passion. Humility means know who you are and have sober judgment. And passion means do not be lukewarm. Be wholehearted in all you do. And I think those are the ones that caused me at this time to look and have sober judgment.
Because, Dan, you got to think, if you're going to be running this NIL deal, and you're going to be running this portal deal, and you're going to be coaching in that world, you got to be. There's a certain amount of shadiness involved. There's a certain amount of negotiation involved. You're not selling your school. You're not selling your program. You're not selling your facility. You're not selling the free education that you're getting. You're not selling the legacy of the program. You're not selling what you've turned around from when you were ass buckets to now that you are, within the last, 7 to 8 years, won a national championship. You're not selling any of that. You're cutting a deal. You might as well be a used car salesman because you're trying to find, and you now have athletes that are not like, hey man, you got athletes that are saying, how much you gonna pay me? How much you gonna pay me?
I think that's the biggest problem.
Right.
I think it's more than just navigating the NIL. It's dealing with these athletes that are multimillionaires and don't want to be talked to in a rough way.
And these coaches that worked under the Mike Krzyzewskis and the Dean Smiths and the Bobby Knights and these great, huge teachers of fundamental great basketball, they never had to deal with that. So the Dean Smith and the Krzyzewskis and all these guys can't teach their assistants on how to negotiate with with a senior coming out of, a high school. They were never told how to deal with a guy on when he wants $4 million up front because, Duke's ready to give him $4.5 million up front.
And once they're on your team, they're not like, I'm bleeding blue Duke blood.
No.
They don't care about Duke. They just care about the next better deal.
And if they don't get their way, they get benched, they get redirected, they get scolded.
Back to the portal.
Then they're back. They're like, you know what? Screw you. I'm back to the portal.
Yeah.
Where I was at. And that's probably the thing that has choked me up the most, and the hardest thing to say is when I looked at myself and I realized I'm no longer the
I might have
best
sent you the right clip, Bubba, just in case.
A shorter one?
It's a minute and 4, and it makes it sound like it's right around the NIL.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Lummy, because I watch it, and this guy, he does get to it, the NIL, but it's very long-winded. He talks about his son, making fun of him crying, and all that kind of stuff. Here we go.
Student athletes to receive revenue. Please
Here we go. This Dan pretty much, I think, because I watched the whole thing, and that's what I took from it. So here you go.
This game, I think it's right for players, student athletes to receive revenue. Please don't mistake me. I do. I think it is. But the game and college athletics is not in a healthy spot. It's not. And there needs to be change. And it's not going to go back. I think I was equipped to do the job here the old way.
See, again, this is what I mean. I was equipped to do it the old way. You went in, you recruited the best kid, you sold the university, you sold the program success, you sold the weight facility, you sold the practice deal, you sold the beauty of the, that.
That's who I am.
That does not matter anymore. It's how big of a check can you write me, and if it's not big enough, I'm going to enter the portal. Screw you.
That's how it was. And my staff has buoyed me along to get to this point, but there needs to be change. It's going to be closer to a professional model, Coach Carlisle. I think it is, where there's got to be collective bargaining. There has to be a restriction on the salary pool that teams can spend. There has to be transfer regulation restrictions. There has to be some limits on the agent involvement to these young guys.
And he's saying, I am not equipped to deal with that. I've not been taught that.
There are good agents and there are bad agents, and
so I'm going to let somebody else that might be equipped to do that take this job over.
Driving some of this stuff that we're in, and I worry a lot about the mental health of the student athletes as all this stuff comes down.
Have you had to evolve as a broadcaster, Bubba?
Me?
Over the years?
Well, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can't do that I wish I could.
Well, I know, but then going from doing radio to then doing streaming to having to not knowing if anybody's listening to having people give you real time reaction. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have changed over the years, and then you've gone with it. I mean, why is this guy pulling the plug?
I don't know. Maybe he's made so much. Here's the deal. If I had made so much money prior or had saved my money and not blown it and been irresponsible, then maybe I wouldn't. I could have just had one of these press conferences and said, listen, I'm out.
I think what's not being said is what he's screaming, and that is these athletes are douchebags because they just all they care about is the money and they don't care about the program or you or anybody else.
He's trying to be nice about it by saying
that's
mental
what he's
health.
saying.
By saying mental health, he's trying to be nice about it. But what he's saying is they're a bunch of douchebags, spoiled brats, transforming at a moment's notice assholes.
Yep. And he can't say that. He can't say
that. Makes more sense.
Yes, it does.
That was the big difference between college and pros.
Right.
In college, you had elite athletes, but they weren't multimillionaires. And they couldn't just leave that day because they transferred. They have to sit a year out. So they were a captive audience. And in the pros, they could obviously
and you could coach them accordingly.
Right.
Mike Krzyzewski could have a guy that had a bad attitude, put him on the bench. Do you know what Bob? God,
Can you imagine Bobby Knight doing this?
The best. You got to find me the quote, Larry. I mean, Lummy, you got to find me the quote because it's the best quote I've ever heard. And Bobby Knight says the best motivator in the entire world is the bench. Because you sit your ass on the bench and you start reflecting on what made you sit on the bench. And he somehow miraculously, like that wood on the bench goes through your ass and goes up to your head, and you start playing harder. Well, you could bench a guy 3 years ago. You could say, hey, listen, Clem, you're not pulling your weight around here. You're on the bench. And then what did Clem do? Clem did one or two things. Clem either pouted and didn't get better, or he busted his ass, pushed himself and got better and maybe got back in the starting lineup. Now what does Clem do? Clem now just gets in the portal and goes to somebody else that will baby him.
Yep.
And maybe give him more money.
Yep.
Mental health of the student athletes as all
clip.
This stuff comes down. And it's sometimes when you're in it, you have to step away, and maybe I can be an advocate for the student athletes and the coaches to get the changes. But this is a place that will.
All right, let me. So, Dan, you're right. Him saying mental health.
He's saying the athletes are assholes.
He's saying I'm dealing with a bunch of douches.
I sent you Bobby Knight too.
You sent me the Bobby Knight deal?
Yeah.
All right. This is probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Look at Bobby Knight. He doesn't care about nothing. Here we go. Hold on. This is the best. And you can't coach like this anymore. You just can't.
You can talk about all the motivational speeches and phrases and devices in the world, but the greatest motivator of all is your ass on the bench. There is no better motivator. Ass meets bench. Bench retains ass.
Listen.
Ass transmits signal to brain. Brain transmits signal to body. Body gets ass off bench and plays better. I mean, it's a hell of a sequence of things that takes place.
This guy.
Sounds almost scientific. Well, it might be for you guys.
I remember one time I saw a press conference and he was down at the Pan Am Games or something like that, and he goes, "I would say this was a Mickey Mouse operation, but that would be talking bad about Mickey Mouse." This is Van Gundy. I'm not Van Gundy. This is Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State, and he talks about just how bad what college football really, really, really needs.
Just a few things. It's a simple process. College football needs a commissioner.
And I agree with him 100%.
And if it's one of the four guys now, if it's the guy at SEC commissioner, I don't care. We need a commissioner. And then we need the Power 4 or Power 5, if we go back to it. Those commissioners are under them. And then we need a football oversight rules committee that's going to enforce whatever rules that we say there are, whether that is recruiting, NIL, salary cap, employment agreements, transfers, whatever those rules.
Can you believe that really one of the proposals they're bringing up for college football is having to have an NIL salary cap? Like, each university can only, put 10 million.
There should be. If there's salaries, there should be a salary cap.
There should be. Can you believe that we're talking about it? Can you believe we're talking about that?
But it's wrong that baseball has such disparate salaries, which is why you have Yankees and Dodgers going to the World Series instead of some of the smaller market teams.
The Twins and Pittsburgh.
Right.
And they need to follow the NFL model. The NFL has been an ultra-successful money-making machine over 50 years. And the reason why is because they have equality amongst the troops.
Mm-hmm.
So they have, 32 teams?
God, this guy's sharp.
They have salary caps. They have free agency. They have all the things that are in place to create equal, which allows the last place team to have the first draft and the Super Bowl champion to have the last draft. So they continue to have equal teams. So you might have a team in the NFL that wins 4 games.
I mean, look at the Bears. The Bears, prime example. Had the first pick overall last year because they had one of the worst records. They're now in the hunt. They're 4-2. They're 4-2 and in the hunt. I think like if you were to seed the conference right now, they're like the 5th seed, 4th seed.
In the next year, if they get a good free agency trade, which is the portal we have, or they pick up a high round pick, they might win 10 games next year and make the playoffs. So people turn TVs on and they continue to watch it now all the time. That's what has to happen in college football. In my opinion, it's going to be driven by the commissioner of the SEC and the Big Ten because they have the most money right now based on long-term television contracts. But that money's not going to matter if everything becomes one-dimensional, one-sided. If we get a bunch of teams that have all this money, and then we have the other 30 teams that have a moderate amount of money, then how many people on the West Coast and the East Coast who don't have teams playing in the playoffs anymore, and it's all the teams from the same 2 conferences maybe, and I know that a winner of Big 12 gets in, I get that, but you see what I'm saying. And then I live on the East Coast or the West Coast, and I never have a team in the playoffs, and so why do I watch that anymore? I don't care. There's no teams. I don't get to see anything. There's no equality amongst college football, and I turn the television off. Now we got a problem. It's a big picture. Like, I don't have enough time to go over all of it. I just gave you a short version of what I think should happen.
But he's right. Have a commissioner, have rules in sight, have each commissioner have 4 or 5 other commissioners, a Big Ten, a Pac. Is it a Big 12 or Pac-12?
Big 12.
Big 12, SEC, ACC. They all have commissioners. They report to the big commissioners, have a salary cap, have a portal protocol, and then take all the TV money and maybe distribute it a little bit equally, and have rules on salary caps and, have rules that you can only, take 15 players from the portal.
It looks like the NCAA just rushed into it.
Oh, they said, what they did is that California and Florida on the state level passed NIL deals. If you guys remember, Florida and California, I think, passed state legislation allowing college athletes to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. And then at that point, everybody had, the NCAA had to say, hey, listen, we're going to take it out of the state level. We're going to make it universal across all college athletics. And it became the Wild West. They didn't have enough time to establish rules. They're just like either it's legal or it's not legal. Because all, Texas and Michigan and Ohio and Georgia, they were all bitching because their state legislations hadn't passed NIL deals, and California and Florida at the time was getting everybody because their states had passed NIL deals. So at that point, the NCAA just opened it up to the Wild West, and we're still in the Wild West territory.
I'm surprised that the separate conferences don't have something overseeing all of them as a group. That does need to happen. You can't have an SEC commissioner and a Big 12 commissioner and, all those different commissioners having their own little, worlds and not having to answer to
right
a unified.
Now, it's my understanding that there is one of the reasons why Texas A&M was able to buy out Jimbo Fisher's contract is because they have, all these, they have one of the largest, alumni donor bases with all that oil money. Texas A&M in Texas, they're funded by alumni that are oil, multi-oil billionaires. But it's my understanding that right now there is no rule with regards to how much money a student can be paid NIL.
Correct.
Or how much a college collective program or the college in itself can bring in NIL. Ball State University could bring in $500,000 NIL, and Texas could bring in $500 million.
Correct.
And so, right?
Yeah.
That would be like saying the Chicago Bears can have a $400 million salary cap, and the San Diego Chargers can have a $40 million salary cap.
Right. It turns it into baseball, and it's just not fair.
So and for the players now, the Shedeur Sanders and the Travis Hunters and the Eli Manning's kid or the Manning kid, and the kid from Miami, and all these kids that's got these huge deals, there's only going to be this short window of about 3 or 4 years until they figure it out. And so we're currently in the Wild West, era where, literally, I think Shedeur Sanders has a Mercedes deal, a Lamborghini deal, a Bentley deal. Like, I think he has a 3-car deal.
Jeez.
And so they better enjoy it now, because it's going to get. There's no way it can continue to operate this way, because you're going to have.
Oh, I think it's only going to get bigger.
You think it's going to get?
Yeah,
I think it's going to get more of a. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, I think that more money is going to get pumped into the universities to make sure that. I think not only do the quarterbacks and the high price guys get paid, but I think they want to make sure that all the guys at least get a little bit of money.
Right.
So I think that's why they're going to start. I don't think it's going to be like we got to start getting all this money so we can pay this one guy. I think they want to take care of everybody.
And you take care of the swimmers and the baseball players and everybody and the track team.
I think it starts initially where they spread it out just on the team. And then it maybe gets spread out throughout the entire athletic program of the university.
Well, it funds all the other sports anyway.
And then maybe the NCAA sticks their nose in it and said, here's a hard cap. Here's a hard number. Let's not forget SMU with Eric Dickerson and who was the guy
the other running back, the white running back?
Yeah. God, was it? I don't know.
Craig James?
Yeah,
Craig James. They got a 10-year death penalty where they shut their program down for 10 years just because Eric Dickerson was driving like a brand new Corvette. That's it. They got like a couple cars and a little bit of spending money, and they shut down that unit. It was called the ultimate death penalty, remember?
Yeah.
Shut that program down for 10 years. It hasn't been the same since.
Not at all.
Now, if you're a starter for Texas, I think you get a brand new Lamborghini. When I return, we'll go through the NFL scores and some college scores as well. 2 games on the slate for tonight. The early game, Buccaneers host the Ravens. 3.5 Bucks are 3.5 point dogs, and the Cardinals host the Chargers. LA's a 1.5 dog. Cardinals.
No, the Cardinals are a dog.
No, not on my deal.
Los Angeles Chargers are getting 1.5.
To me, it says minus 1.5.
Yeah, that means they're favored.
Oh, my bad.
You got problems if you're betting on this game anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
You do.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Man. Fucking Harbaugh had to hit the blue tent last week. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. I just called to say I love you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to somebody in the NIL promoting something that I actually buy one day. Let's see the influence. Let's see if he's influenced by me, if he listens to the music. And if he feeds into the shit, he's into the victim and becomes a puppet on the string of my tennis shoe. Ooh, my name is Slim Shady. I've been crazy way before radio didn't play me. Dude, they'd be fucking with Miami 7-0. Behind these all one-loss, sorry-ass teams.
I know. Like, what the fuck isn't Miami getting?
I don't know, man. I love Cam Ward.
And they beat some pretty good teams. They beat what? They really only beat Florida.
Well, I mean, they beat everybody they played. I don't know what to say.
How about Iowa State, BYU, Indiana? How about Indiana? They're 7-0. They're only 13th.
Yeah, well, that's... Look at Alabama, 2 losses, 15. They're still going to make the playoffs this year.
Army-Navy set both. I think it's the first time in I don't know how many years they've both been undefeated.
What up, Grouper, Quicker Ticker?
Don't they play on Christmas? Don't they play on Christmas Day always, or something?
Go get it, G. Go on the Chargers. What a deal. What up, Neil? What's up, Havoc?
I hope Monday night didn't do this because of the Harbaugh thing. They wanted both coaches on the same night.
No. I think it's a. I again, remember we were talking. I think.
I know, but both Harbaughs.
This seems like an East Coast West Coast deal. That's all it seems like to me. What do I know? Nothing. Duh.
Dan, supposedly Maria Guatemala has a medical issue about some type of breast situation.
Oh no.
I'll see her.
I know, but she wants to call in and tell you what it is.
Okay.
Something to do with swollen breast. It's called swollen breast tissue in her armpit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hearing it from Merch Crick, so I told her to call in.
Okay.
The Chargers got to get Mike Williams back.
The Jets trading him back, though?
I think the Jets are getting rid of him, yeah.
Who?
Mike Williams.
Well, the Jets shit the bed last night.
What up, Napa Mike? Thanks for the parts, dude. You're the man.
Napa Mike. Yeah, Cable Dog. The highest ranked IU's been ever.
Ticker.
I think the Jets' defense is overrated too.
Yeah, the Jets' defense did not look good.
Jets are supposed to have this like fucking stifling defense.
That was supposed to be their strong point.
Yeah, I know. It's their strong point's fucking Breece Hall.
No shit. That's a stud.
They're gonna ride this fucking poor guy into the ground. Carry Aaron Rodgers to the fucking finish line of fucking 8-9.
If Roger misses the playoffs this year, you think he's gone?
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo Studios.
Aquabedo.com, promo code BUBBA.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Bucks, Ravens tonight, Monday Night Football. Boy, it used to be so nice when we were able to be like, but I can't. Even that right there might even get me a violation. I wonder who wrote the Monday Night Football theme and how much money they make a year in royalties. Did you know that somebody actually owns the royalties to Happy Birthday?
Johnny Pearson owns a Monday Night theme.
Yeah, and how much does he make? I mean, I can't even do. If I go to the next bar, I'll get like a violation. And then I completely like.
Then the Andrew guy gets all your money for the day.
Well, they strike your channel. Your channel's not allowed to make any money. Whatever money your channel's going to make, or whatever money that show's going to make that you included that piece,
goes to the Happy Birthday guy.
No, goes to the if you don't like, you can share it or you can cut it out or whatever, but it'll demonetize for 3 hours and 40 minutes we could not ever, but for the 8 seconds that we played, that it completely wipes it all out. It's the most ridiculous stuff you've ever seen in your entire life. But remember, Lummy, back in the day when we would talk NFL football, we'd be able to play,
Yeah, just have it playing.
One of the greatest themes of all times. Ravens, Bucks tonight, Chargers and Cardinals tonight in a rare Monday Night Football, duo deal, East Coast, West Coast. Yesterday's scores, Broncos killed the Saints. Are the Broncos that good? They're 4-3 now, are they not? 3-1.
No, that was that atrocious Thursday night game. That
was
that's right.
Horrible. It was horrible.
That's right. But Jaguars kill. By the way, whoever the African American guy that's the coach for the Patriots, he's horrible.
He's the line.
He's horrible.
Gerard Mayo.
He's. You know what? So the Jaguars are up by like 12 with 49 seconds left, and and they're on the 20 of the Patriots, and they're just going to take a knee and be done with it. So what do the Patriots do? They call 3 consecutive timeouts so that Bigsby can hit, and the Jaguars are just going to run little dive plays, which allows Bigsby to score a touchdown and hurt the Merch Crick in her fantasy.
No wonder you're so.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you bet on the game?
I'm like, listen, buddy, why are you calling 3? You're down by 12 points. There's 1:07 left. You're going to burn 3 timeouts. What do you think you're going to win? You really think you got a chance to win the game? You're down by 12.
You play to win the game.
Jesus. Idiot. Seahawks killed the Falcons.
They sure did.
34-14. Bills. What's that?
I'm surprised because Atlanta's been doing so well.
I don't think Atlanta's near as good as they
got Raheem Morris as their coach. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
I like Raheem.
Did you party with him, Lummy?
I didn't. I heard a lot of people did.
Don't worry about Dan. Probably worked under him.
I did work with him.
How was he?
He was great. He was a wonderful guy. He was a defensive quality control guy and assistant D back coach when I was there. So is Shanahan. They were both punks, and now they're both head coaches, and it's great. I'm happy for both of them.
Bills over the Titans. Now, I do think the Bills are for real. Oh,
yeah, the Bills are good.
Bengals over the Browns, 21-14. Supposedly Deshaun Watson tweaked out his
his Achilles.
I heard he tore it.
Oh, he tore it.
And he's done for the year.
So is Jameis.
Jameis gets in. I got the Jameis footage, asking everybody. I guess the Cleveland Browns fans are like,
they were cheering.
Are you kidding me?
They were cheering. Yeah.
We gave up the farm for this guy. This guy's an ass bucket. This guy got $220 million of his however big guaranteed. Doesn't matter if he tweaks his Achilles or not. He's been a complete bust. The Browns,
after he settled with like 25 women for getting naughty during massages.
Which, by the way, the lawyer that represented the 25 women that gave Deshaun Watson supposedly happy endings, he's now moved on to bigger and better things, and he's now repping all the bitches for Diddy. Supposedly, the big list comes out this week from Bigsby.
Awesome.
Is that his name?
Is that the Diddy list?
Bugsby or Bigsby?
Busby
from Texas. Packers and a squeaker.
Were you nervous when that timeout came on the field goal?
Here's what I understand. Some of these coaches just don't have clock management awareness.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's like you're on the highest level of coaching and you just let time burn off the clock.
The Bucks did that in their last loss, that overtime loss.
So
they should not have given them enough time to score, and you hike the ball with 2 seconds left of the play clock, not with 15.
Packers go up 21-19 with about 5:40 left. They kick the ball down. Now Texas have got to go all the way, go all the way down, and score or kick a field goal, and so. They start doing it's 8 minutes. 8 minutes left. And Merch Crick turns to me and goes, "Oh, man, we got it. It's 8 minutes." And I go, "Shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about." So the Texans start driving. And they get to about midfield, and it's about 3:05 left. And I'm telling her, LaFleur needs to start burning timeouts. He needs to start burning timeouts so that he gets the ball back because they're going to score. This little Mixon guy is killing us. So sure enough, we don't burn any timeouts. We just let it all go. Let the 2-minute warning go. Now, thank God we were able to drive and kick a field goal. And we got the guy that was trumped up on some sexual. Was it McGinnis or?
Yeah, McManus.
Yeah, we end up winning. But it just amazes me how these coaches, a lot of them, don't have clock management skills. Colts. This was a little bit of an upset, wasn't it? Colts over the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I guess they don't
bums.
have. Yeah, Dolphins don't have Tua. Who's their quarterback now?
Well, what's his name got hurt? Whoever their backup is.
Snoop Hunley?
Yeah.
Their backup got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt during the game, so they had to put in Tim Boyle.
Well, they got beat.
Yeah.
Colts now 4-3. Lions, Vikes. That was pretty much the game of the day.
That was an awesome game.
That was a track meet. And the Lions kicker, what a great story. He went on, Lummy. He did not grow up being a football kicker. He was a soccer player
at UCA.
And then went on to play, I think, for the UFL or something like that.
Yes.
And was the hottest kicker in the UFL. Played for actually the Detroit team, I think. And then the Lions signed him, and I don't think he's missed yet this year.
He was selling bricks last week. He was a brick salesman.
Hold on, what?
He was a brick salesman because he didn't have anywhere to play. And
don't bricks sell themselves?
You would think so.
Doesn't a guy call in and say, "Hey, I'm building especially up north. Bricks are way more prevalent up north than they are down here. Down here we use concrete block and stucco. Up north they use straight ass bricks. I think the contractor calls up and, "Hello, brick company. Yeah, I'm building a 3,500 square foot house. I need, I'm sure they know how many bricks. I need a truckload full of bricks."
I'm sure this guy was just kicking all day, and then he was just taking calls, on his Bluetooth whenever something came through.
Yeah, he was a brick salesman in Houston.
Yeah.
So
Eagles, Giants, Eagles behind, what is it? Barkley had, what, $170?
Yeah, he was running
Killed
over
them. Raiders, they're done. Raiders the Raiders are going to probably try to lose out so they get the number 1 pick and they get Shador. Because that's who the Raiders want. Then the Commanders, they lose their big hot quarterback, the Daniels guy. He gets an oblique stretch or something like that.
Something like that.
But they threw their backup guy in there, and he partied. Was it Mariota? Marcus Mariota.
Is he a good quarterback or not?
Isn't that funny how Jameis Winston played yesterday when Deshaun Watson got tweaked?
He didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
No, Jameis played at the end after the backup that he got demoted for. So
Jameis is such an ass bucket that he's third?
Yeah, he got down to third string.
Meanwhile, Marcus and Jameis, if you remember, they came in the league the same time together, 1-2, 2-1 respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
Mariota went to the Titans.
Yes.
And, Jameis went to the Bucks.
And neither one did that much.
It's
a shame.
And so, but at least Mariota's back up. And he went I think 18 for 23 and had 2 touchdowns.
That's good numbers.
Chiefs, man, is Travis Kelce ever going to get the ball again, or has he pissed off Patrick? What is up? Him and Kittle were the greatest tight ends of all times, and now Kittle's continuing to be that guy, and Travis Kelce isn't shiz.
It's politics.
Is it?
A little bit. The wives aren't getting along. One's a bleeding liberal, the other one's a bleeding Republican, and so they hate each other now.
Hold on, Seth. Is that true that Mahomes and Kelce are not friends anymore?
Their wives are fighting.
Are we hearing that?
They were Brittany and Taylor were hanging out at the last game together.
Yeah. So
Brittany, Patrick Mahomes' wife, and Travis Kelce's girlfriend.
Yeah, they don't hate each other, Dan.
They did 3 weeks ago.
Not anymore, though. They moved on.
And then the big game that everybody, I didn't watch, but the big game that everybody was talking about, Steelers hosting the Jets. Aaron Rodgers threw a fit and got Devontae Adams, to come play for the Jets. They also got their big stud defensive guy back. He came back, and so they're thinking, oh man, we got Devontae Adams, we got Aaron Rodgers, we still got the Wilson kid, wide receiver. And we got, who's the guy from the defense that came back? He was a holdout.
He's not back yet. Hassan Reddick,
but he did report back, did he not?
He'll be back this week.
Yeah, he reported. He didn't play.
And the Steelers, it wasn't even close. 37-15.
Aaron Rodgers looked good in the first quarter. I watched the first quarter. Aaron Rodgers looked good.
24 for 39, 276, a touchdown, and was it 2 picks?
Yes, it was.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Boom, done. There are your scores.
So do you think he's an effective quarterback still?
I think he's trying too hard.
Yeah, I think there's so much pressure, and he's exerted his power and his, and the things that he wants, and they've kissed his ass. And he has, there's so much pressure on him that he's forcing things. He normally, the big thing about Aaron Rodgers is he didn't throw picks back in the day. And that, turnovers lose you ball games. And if you're throwing, I think when he was MVP and stuff, he averaged like 6 to 8 picks all year.
Oh, yeah. He was always
sometimes
under 10.
4.
Yeah.
And now what is he for the year? I think he's the thing.
He's got 7.
7 picks. So, do the Jets turn it around?
From 2-5?
I don't think so.
Good luck.
Although I do remember there was a year that he was 2-5 with the Packers, and they went on a run. What's the remaining schedule for the Jets? Do they got a powder puff deal? Because you can argue, okay, this was the first week, and Devontae didn't get there till Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's not the hardest. They got New England, Houston.
Okay, hold on. So they're going to beat New England. So that puts them at 3-5.
Houston.
Yeah, I think they beat Houston. That puts them at 4-5.
Arizona.
Oh yeah, they kill Arizona.
Indianapolis.
5-5. Yeah, I think they beat the Colts. 6-5.
At home against Seattle.
I don't think they win that game. So I think that puts them at 6-6.
Miami.
They win that game.
Jacksonville.
7-6.
8-6. The Rams.
9-6.
At Buffalo.
9-7.
And Miami.
10-7.
Yeah.
Seth,
That's
does that make you playoffs?
It should. I got him at 7-10 though, so I can't wait to see how that plays out. I mean, if Tua's back for those Dolphins games, I mean they're cooked. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think it's going to go horribly though. I mean, they made a big move for Devontae, and he had 30 yards last night.
Yeah, 9 targets, 3 catches.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely not forcing him the ball at all. And again, I didn't think that he was enough to move the needle. One of the interceptions was not Rodgers' fault at all. It bounced right off Garrett Wilson, but I mean, either way, it's. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the best team leader in the world. So we'll see how the team rallies around him at 2-5.
New AP college poll has Oregon at 1, Georgia at 2, Penn State at 3. They got Miami. Miami's 7-0. They got them at 6.
Yeah.
Talking about undefeated team, Iowa State. They're undefeated at 10. BYU at 11 undefeated. Indiana undefeated at 13 at 7-0. And then, there you go down to Pittsburgh. They're 6-0. And they're at 19. And then you got Army and Navy. When's the last time after 6 or 7 weeks that Army and Navy were both undefeated?
Like 1932?
Really?
I mean, it's been a long time.
And don't they play them?
The Army Navy game is at the end of the year normally.
Yes.
Yeah, it's usually the last game of the year, is it not?
Yes.
We should go to war right now to show off how strong we are football wise. Because if they're good football wise, they're good with their actual jobs.
Exactly.
Right. Let me. What's this? This is this just
This is just highlights.
This is Shador.
Somebody's that pass there.
Is that to Hunter?
No.
I don't think so, no.
Oh, yeah, that's where they called it out, but it was really in.
But that was a nice pass, though.
Yeah, here, Colorado killed Arizona. And then supposedly Barack Obama was at Arizona, University of Arizona in Tucson, prior to this game, sometime last week, and talked a little smack about Colorado, how they only had two players, Shador and Travis Hunter, and Dion on his post-game press conference addressed it. Now, supposedly, Barack and Dion are either friends or have met.
I think they've met.
Let me go out and underscore this, too. I thought President Obama is everything to me. I mean, I love him, I admire him, I respect him tremendously. But I heard what he said. President, I heard what you said, man. Like, come on. That's why I really don't get into politics. I'm into people, because politicians they play the political game, and he was here and had to play the political game. So they have 2 good players. We got more than 2 good players, but you're here, so you had to support that. And what he said, they won the last 3 meetings or 2 meetings, something like that. He did his homework. Somebody gave him some great statistics. But President, come on, man. You my man. I love you. I appreciate you. But come on, dog. God bless you. I still love you.
I wonder if Barack addresses that. Oh, is this the piece right here? Let me. Yeah.
And I appreciate.
And you know what? Which just goes to show you, man. You'll throw your friend or somebody that you've met under the bus for the environment that you're in, which means it's a complete lie. You're pandering to your environment, not being truthful with what your true friendship and belief is. You're telling the people of the environment that you're in what they want to hear.
Oh, so a politician's not being 100% honest?
Right.
And I appreciate y'all coming out the day before homecoming. As we landed, we saw Colorado's buses at the airport. And I know, Colorado's got a couple good players, but I also know you guys have beaten them twice in a row, so don't bet against the Wildcats tomorrow.
Man, Dion kept a receipt on that, did he not?
Sure did.
Kept a receipt on that.
We saw Colorado's buses at the airport. And I know, Colorado's
I mean, that's even kind of breaking bro code a little bit, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, Colorado's head coach isn't black, is he?
I don't think so.
Colorado's coach?
No,
Arizona.
Arizona.
They used to be.
Arizona's coach, I don't think is black. It's kind of break. I mean,
Why is it so tilted?
Kind of breaking because it's
the way
taken
it's
from
filmed.
somebody. Somebody filmed it from their TV. It's the only one that we can find. So it's kind of breaking bro code a little bit.
And I know, Colorado's got a couple good players, but I also know you guys have beaten them twice in a row, so don't bet against the Wildcats tomorrow.
All right, man. Dion kept a receipt on that deal. Said you got it. I'm glad you got it. You got it all figured out.
Deserves that.
I mean, this is Myles Garrett, what the big stud defensive end for
the
Browns.
Yeah.
Everybody's stepping up now, and's got Deshaun's back, including I think. Well, I'm gonna go to words. I'll come back with it. I think Jameis came out and was like, "Man, you guys aren't giving this guy a fair shake. He's a good dude." Jameis, listen, stop trying to fight a battle that you're not going to win. Everybody hates Deshaun Watson. The Browns organization gave up way too much for him. There's all types of these examples in the league where, listen, Denver just got through one of these situations with Russell Wilson. We could go through and probably think of 3 or 4 other organizations that gave too much for a player. They end up being an ass bucket.
Like the Jets.
Well,
Could be.
Could be. But Deshaun has had more than enough time. Well, let's not forget his first year, he couldn't even play for the first 6 games because of all the happy endings.
I think it was 11 games, wasn't it?
Was it 11?
Yeah, it was
11. I don't know who cut that. Thank God the owner cut that deal, because every other person that would have had their fingerprints on the Deshaun Watson deal would be completely kicking a can down the road right now.
He's only played in 19 games in 3 years.
And what did they get? Was it 2 first-rounders? And then 2 first-rounders and a $265 million guaranteed deal? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, with 2 first-rounders?
In a 6th round, 2022, 2023, 2024 first round picks.
Hold on. 3
first round picks.
3 first rounders.
Wow.
And at that time, the largest guaranteed contract in quarterback history.
Yes. And a 3rd rounder and 2 4th rounders.
God!
And they had Baker Mayfield the whole time.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Dude, the Mets are good, man. That's just you. LA's not built to lose. Oh man, it's gonna be a fucking World Series for the fucking ages. Hopefully they don't do any fucking late games. Start them at decent times.
When's the first game?
In a couple days. Let me see.
Give them a couple days to figure out where they're going.
It depends. I don't really see what cities. Oh, looks like Friday. Friday at LA.
So LA has the advantage from the All-Star game? Is that how they still doing that?
I don't know if they still have that All-Star game deal.
Like the winner of the All-Star game gets the home field?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they still have that.
I think they do, bud. But you might want to check.
I know somebody will tell me in 1 second in here.
Oshani, really looks like he likes to play baseball, doesn't he? Looks like he's having fun.
Yeah, they said they said he got a steal in that $700 million deal now. Okay, best record in the season gets it there. See, I knew I heard they changed it. I like that they were trying to make the All-Star game meaningful, but
Does it still do that?
No, it's its best record.
Okay, so it's not that.
Yeah.
I appreciate them trying to do it, but
the only thing that would make the
so now the All-Star game is totally insignificant. Back then, at least represented home field advantage.
Well, I mean, to me, it's insignificant because the teams play in interleague play, so there's really nothing special about the American League playing the National League anymore when they play each other all the time.
Man, I don't know what's fallen from grace more, the NFL fucking All-Star game or the.
I don't think the Pro Bowl was ever. I don't know if people were into it. Maybe back then.
Yeah, it's horrible. Now it's just a flag football skills competition, isn't it?
What's up, Maggie? No, they have a game.
I think it's like flag football.
I think they're having a game. I don't fucking know, man.
We'll bring it up.
Listen, I mentioned that he was in there, so the miracle match.
They got hot, man.
They got hot at the right time.
Dude, I love their owner, man. Last year they were disappointed. He was fire selling. They got some young guys, and now they're back.
I thought when they were fire selling, they were going to be complete dog shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
who's that?
The Mets.
What up, Timothy? What up, Matt Crusher? What up, Hockey Farmer?
No, they brought the right guys in. I feel bad. I like Pete Alonso.
Yeah, he's a good Tampa guy.
Yeah, he seems like a real stand-up guy.
I think he's a free agent, isn't he?
Oh, they gotta pay him. He's still.
Where are the Rays going to play next year?
I think I could see Orlando.
The Lesser Antilles.
Yeah. Cuba. I could see him going over to Orlando.
I think that Disney complex is the only thing that makes sense.
In Orlando, I think Orlando would put money into it.
And watch him draw bigger crowds over
That's
there.
fine. I hope they do.
I hope they do too. Oh, and by the way, Tuttle owes us both $5.
What?
So we made that bet with Tuttle about
bet was
the
that?
fucking guy getting hit. But he was wrong.
But the guy did not get hit, or
He did not get hit. Remember, he was guaranteed that they were going to come and plunk him for the home run.
I forgot about all the deals that were made.
Yeah, well, I
give
got
him all
$5
the
on it.
Oh shit, dude, that's a nice ass Blue Jays hat Chris Godwin's wearing. Look at that shit, orange. That's nice.
Let me next break. Will you bring me? We got any cold Aquabeto?
Yes, we do. You want me to get one out?
Yeah, real fast. Bring me a couple. Thank you, buddy.
I think Port Charlotte would be good. I think they should definitely do Orlando if they can, though. I think it'd be good for the brand. I mean, if the Yankees didn't have minor league at Legends Field, I think that'd be a perfect spot.
He's bringing the new cans this week, too. He's bringing us more.
Thank you, buddy.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabeto Studios. Aquabeto.com, promo code BUBBA. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
It's kind of cool. I mean, been very sports-ish today.
Ben Slade, $40.
The World Series will be Yankees, Dodgers. I mean, that's what the league wants anyway. You know, that's what they want.
Of course, especially the networks.
Yeah.
LA, New York, two biggest markets.
Here was I don't know if this was the play that Deshaun Watson, still quarterback.
Yeah, you can watch his Achilles pop here.
Can you really?
Oh, yeah.
Where he blows out of his Achilles.
Everyone's going to maintain possession. You see,
There it is, right there.
Right there.
Right there it is.
Right foot.
Everyone's going to maintain possession.
You see it snap.
You can
See it
literally,
give.
you can literally see it snap.
Everyone's going to maintain possession.
Boom, right there.
It was just a step back.
Possession. You see,
Yeah, I think it was just. I think it was just like a kind of a.
Everyone's going to maintain possession.
Kind of looked like he was getting ready to take off. Like he had got the ball, the pressure was coming, and it looked like he was going to maybe, try to scoot around that side right there. And as he pushed off his right foot.
Cleveland's going to maintain possession. You see, oh boy. You see the buckle of his right leg. My goodness.
You see that.
Yeah, and see, Dan, at that point, I mean, like, you can't. You're done, right?
No,
I mean, you're
the
done.
foot doesn't work.
Is your Achilles, does it tie into your calf?
Mm-hmm. And your calf and your
lower heel?
Soleus muscles.
So, like, is your Achilles, like, would be, like, from here to, like, here?
From the bottom of your calf to the bottom of your foot, yeah. It's right there. It's right there. It's right at the back of your heel.
Right here.
Yeah, it's the tendon.
Now,
that
is there
attaches.
multiple different, like...
There's two muscles there.
The way that Aaron Rodgers blew his out, was that different than the way this guy blew it? Or is it when you blow your Achilles...
Usually a plant with a push off. So
and when you blow it, are you snapping it, basically?
Yes, you tear it. You
Cleveland's going to
rip it.
maintain possession. You see, oh boy.
Now, it may not be 100% rip, but it's probably 75 to 90%
And surgically... Do you reattach it, or do you put more tissue in there?
You sew it back together. Now, I've seen also sometimes they've put literally placenta over it to try to help it heal.
That used to be a death sentence in football, Dan, wasn't it? When you would get an Achilles tear.
Yeah, usually it's like a year off at least.
Now, is there specific exercises?
Stretch.
Well, yes. I mean, everybody should stretch for every muscle, for hamstrings, for shoulders, for quadriceps, for your neck. But, is there a specific weight room exercise you could do? Would it be lateral calf raises? Would it be
What are you worried about, tearing your Achilles, pushing off, Bubba?
No,
I think just calf exercises in general, Bubba, strengthen that tendon over time.
Right, not
and
me.
you neglect it. When you get older, you neglect it because you're worried about other stuff.
Right.
Massages and how good your biceps look.
Cleveland's going to maintain
and
possession.
when you push off with full strength.
Cleveland's going to maintain.
That's why, listen, Hogan, when he worked out every day, because he said your abs and your calves were the most resilient, that he worked out his abs and his calves every day.
Well, that's what Muscle and Fitness taught us in the 80s, too. That you
But
could
I'm
do
just
your
saying
calves and abs every day.
So if you were to stand by,
would he shoot the roids right in his calves?
No, he wouldn't shoot the roids right in his calves. But when he did have
the needle marks.
when he did have a hip surgery, he did have me shooting growth right in his hip, right into his hip. It's like, brother, if it makes everything better in your body, and if you target it where your body needs most help, it just gravitates right to it. I mean, Hogan was a doctor in his own right.
I was going to say, did you learn how to be a doctor from Hogan?
Yeah, that's his medical school was Hogan.
And
Hogan's
here's the
School
deal.
of Medicine.
But here's the deal. I told Dan this while we were doing it, and Dan said this. Listen, he may not be wrong. He may
Its
not.
concentration is highest regionally where you inject it.
Yeah,
so.
he may not be wrong. I mean, we cannot prove that injecting growth hormone into a surgically repaired area instead of putting it in your ass or most people shoot their growth in their stomach, but to shoot your growth, inches away from the incision of your hip injury may not be a bad idea.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
magnets weren't sticking to your calves when you got the shot in the arm. It's where the highest concentrations where you inject it.
I mean, yeah, your body, distributes that growth evenly when you're not injured, but when you're injured, it may just, call all troops to that injured area to try to help repair it. I don't know. Dan said, I can't, as a doctor, necessarily debunk his, back alley mentality. I mean, it could be work. I mean, it could work. I don't know there'd be any way you could medically prove that.
Sure, you could. You could do tissue levels. You could do tissue levels. Do an injection on the arm versus in this hip, and then do tissue levels of the tissue in the hip 24 hours later.
But you'd have to get two guys who had the same surgery and use one.
You the same guy just 6 months later or 6 weeks later or a week later.
Saying I think the way you could really do is you got two guys with the same injury. One guy injects his growth like the way he always does in his belly. The other guy injects his growth right there by the injury. They do the same rehab. They do the same everything, and you see which person gets the better result, if any. Right? Maybe?
Cleveland's going to maintain possession.
Snap!
Oh, boy.
Snap!
That looks painful.
Done.
You see the buckle of his right leg.
I mean, usually that takes you out for a year, does it not?
My goodness.
6 months at least.
You see that snap.
I mean,
in
some
his
guys
calf.
didn't Aaron Rodgers come back for like the last game after
He
like
tried.
4.5 months?
Hello.
Yeah, it does.
I think this is Maria Guatemala. You're on the air. I was told that you had a question, medical question, about your boobs for Dr. Dan.
Yes, well, it's not my boobs, but yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what happens is I need to know which doctor do I need to go because I found out a couple of years ago that I have breast tissue on my armpit, and the doctor said there was no reason to remove it unless it bothers me because he said there's nothing wrong with it. Every time I get my mammogram or ultrasound or whatever, they check it and they said it's just breast tissue. And I had one time, I think it's called Kibella or something like that, a shot to try to dissolve it, but it didn't work because it wasn't fat.
Hold on, you got breast. Hold on, let me see if I can interpret your very thick Guatemalan accent with your heavy pace, with your very fast pace. You have breast tissue that was detected in your armpit, and they told you not to worry about it. Is that what you're saying?
She had said a couple things.
What's she saying, Dan? You're the doctor.
Okay, she said a couple things. Number one, she has accessory breast tissue near her armpit, which is, something a lot of people have. Not that big of a deal.
I got accessory breast tissue everywhere, so I'm just saying. Let me, you too.
Yes, we do.
With your man tees.
Yes, we do.
All right, go ahead.
The other thing is she said that she had some dumbass try to put Kybella in it to try to dissolve it. Kybella is that thing that we used to use for neck fat when people had a little fat under the turkey gobbler. It doesn't work very well. It gets hard, doesn't dissolve anything. It doesn't do anything to breast tissue. So it's a shame that she had to subject herself to that pain of having the Kybella shots. Yeah, they hurt, and they hurt for weeks afterwards. And as soon as the pain's gone, it's time for your next shot.
Let's suck it out with a crazy straw.
So there's two ways to do it. One's to try to liposuction it out, but if it's real breast tissue, you got to cut it out. You got to just actually excise it because breast tissue is very difficult to liposuction. So we could do that.
So what would you suggest?
Let me cut it out. Give me a knife.
Dan says, "Give me a knife. We'll put you on some. We'll put you on some laughing gas."
No, we'll do it in the operating room.
Oh, this is a TOS procedure.
Yeah, it's like an axillary mastectomy. I mean, you're taking out breast tissue from the armpit.
Now,
so
is there any scenario where she doesn't need it done, or does she certainly need this done?
I mean, it sounds like she needs it done. She's a skinny girl, and having accessory breast tissue there looks weird.
By the way, you got nice boobs too. By the way, so is this taken away from the niceness of your knockers?
No, well, not really. I can't see it. If you really pay close attention, you can see it. But the problem is, lately it's been very painful. Like, I can't even sleep at night because when I roll on my left side, it just hurts. It wakes me up.
You excise it.
It's painful.
Yeah. It's mastodynia.
So now, Dan, she said it's really starting to kind of irritate her.
Yes, time to excise.
So
time to remove it.
Maria, you need to go see Dan.
Okay.
All right. Good talking to you.
I was trying to figure out which kind of doctor because the doctor that I went here a couple of months ago, she said she couldn't do it. She said I have to go to a breast surgeon.
Yeah,
but I mean, if we find one on my insurance list and it's not there.
Do you have a Dr. Gabori on there? Gabori, Gabouri. He's a great breast surgeon. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Come to my office. We'll get you set up.
Dan will say if he can't handle it, he'll get you to somebody. Bring your insurance.
Bring your insurance list. Yeah.
Bring your insurance list, and Dan will figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
you very much.
All right, Maria Guatemala. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of girls have that. And a lot of girls, another area that we've neglected for years is the lateral breast, like the side of the breast, like the ribs to the side of your breast. Because a lot of girls.
Like the side boob? I love side boob.
It's not the side boob, it's past where the boob stops, and there's still more side stuff. And so as women get older, to the side of the side boob, the area directly under your armpit gets fat. And so we've been liposuctioning that area and taking tissue out of that area much more aggressively over the last few years because it really makes a girl in her 40s or 50s look better.
So this is kind of a common thing.
Yes. Well, it depends up to a point. Some people have a lot of breast tissue there. Some people just have fat on the side of the ribs.
That's me.
It comes out of the bra.
I mean, we don't need to go see a boob doctor. We just got,
He's got man boobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Continuing on the Deshaun Watson deal, two of his teammates have come to. By the way, he got extensively booed, Lummy, when he was sitting there on the ground. Do we have that footage of when they were carting? I think when they were carting him off. He got extensively booed because the people of Cleveland know that this might be.
They were cheering when he was down.
Yeah. Yes. True. But I can't think of, right off the top of my head, Brad, I'm going to turn your mic on for a quick second. You're a sports guy. I can't think of a worse deal cut in the NFL in the last decade than this deal. This Deshaun Watson, 3 number ones. I don't know how many numbers. Like
Russell Wilson's deal wasn't.
I don't know. Was Russell Wilson's deal more lopsided than this, or is this the worst of all time?
I mean, this is pretty bad. I think the way that it is played out is pretty bad. You know, when he played in Denver, they realized after a season he wasn't the guy. But with Deshaun, like, nothing ever got going, and then he gets hurt. And there's still no foreseeable way out of it. Like, Denver's trying to get out of it and moving that money around.
Right.
You know, they're still able to salvage this team.
And when Russell went to Denver, he didn't have to sit out 11 games for getting happy endings. Like, he was allowed to be start right away and be an ass bucket. This guy came in and had to sit out 11 games after having been, given the entire franchise away for this dude, and he wasn't even eligible game 1. He had to sit out 11 games. So, I mean, I saw one of the sports guys saying that there's no way the only way the Cleveland Browns would have a chance to unload this guy would to be give up their number 1 draft pick, which is going to be a top 5 draft pick this year, with Deshaun, and then they pay the freight. They pay his deal, or the majority of his deal, for the rest of his contract. But they said
they're taking this one on the chin, and they'll draft a quarterback, and now they have a good excuse to draft a quarterback, so it's less awkward.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the booing from the sidelines. I think so, yeah.
Of when he got.
How's Shador going to feel if he goes up to there?
He won't go.
Well, what if he gets drafted?
He won't go.
Well, then he won't play football.
Well, then he won't play football. There's been dating
Bo Jackson.
No, it was. I don't know if it was Bo Jackson first, but it might have been John Elway.
John Elway, yeah, with Baltimore.
John Elway, Baltimore. When they played in Baltimore.
That's Colts.
This is as the Colts. When they were the Colts, the Baltimore Colts were gonna draft John Elway. John Elway told the Ursays, "If you draft me, I will not show up," and he didn't. And they didn't draft him.
He went and played baseball.
And I think the Bucks set precedent before Elway for when they drafted Bo Jackson.
No, Elway was first because Elway was 83, Jackson was 87, 86. Yeah.
So Elway established that would happen. The Bucks, dumbass Bucks says, do. Bo Jackson says he won't come and play for us, but we're still going to draft him. We draft him, and Bo Jackson says, "Hey, Kansas City Royals, here I come."
Mm-hmm.
Boom, never plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then there was the Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning deal, where both of them didn't want to play for the respective teams that were going to draft him, so they made a deal to do a crisscross applesauce. You draft Eli, we draft Phillip, and on the literally seconds after we draft him, we'll trade. Right?
Well, Phillip Rivers didn't have a problem. It's just Eli Manning.
Eli Manning didn't want to play for the Chargers.
Yep.
But again, that's another demand that, people took seriously. If you go back to the 89 draft, Dan, Dion told Green Bay and Detroit, "Don't draft me. I ain't coming." Green Bay ended up taking Mandrich, I think second or third, and Detroit took Barry Sanders either second and third, knowing that Dion told them, I will not play for you. And he wanted specifically to play for Atlanta. During the combine, when the players meet the teams, Dion told the Packers and Detroit, "Don't draft me because I won't show up." So
they listen there.
So Dan, there are instances that's been in the league where the player said, "I will not play for you.
Right.
If you draft me, you've wasted your pick." And I think the penalty, Seth, isn't the penalty just a 1-year sit out, and then you can be either an unrestricted free agent or go to a supplemental draft or go back into the draft?
I don't know. I feel like they have your rights, and I know in baseball, I think if you sit out a year, you're okay. But I feel like in football, they have your rights until they give them up.
It's a year. It's supposed to be a year, and then you're supposed to go in the supplemental draft the next year.
But they don't have the supplemental draft anymore, do they? I thought they got rid of that.
Yeah, so you may just be an unrestricted free agent at that point. But yeah, I think you got to sit out for a year. But
no one's doing that because you want the money of getting picked. Number one, everything is you get less money after every single pick. So
I don't know. Shador is getting $5 million a year NIL.
He doesn't want 30 guaranteed?
No, I mean he probably does, but I mean
you just got to be there for 5 months.
He's not going to the Browns.
No,
he's going to Vegas. I'm just telling you to the point where I'm just telling you,
You think Vegas wants him?
Yeah.
Oh, Vegas wants him because Tom Brady's a minority owner. It's sexy. Vegas is sexy. It's a West Coast team. It's not a cold weather team. That's what Dion was most. He doesn't like cold weather. Shador doesn't like cold weather. And listen. I mean, it's a team that's not that far away. I think the Browns are far away, right?
According to this, it looks like if you hold out a year and then you can re-enter the draft.
Yeah, there you go. So,
This from both teams giving words of encouragement. Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. Deshaun Watson, both teams giving him words of encouragement.
All right, did someone loop wrestling audio over that?
Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. This from both teams giving him words.
What are they saying?
Sounds like USA.
They're saying you deserve it. Which is something they say in wrestling when somebody wins a championship, and that sounds like it's looped in audio. I just know they were cheering when he got hurt. I mean, I could be real.
They were booing too.
It could be real.
Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago.
So you're saying they may have taken some WWE audio and put it on this clip. We don't necessarily know that the people from Cleveland were saying this.
I mean, the person that put up the clip goes, "Was Browns fans right to do this?" So
Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. This from both teams giving him words.
Wow, how do you feel if you're Deshaun Watson and the whole entire stadium hates you?
According to this other short from a sports TV, it says that they said you deserved it. Injured crowd cheers, you deserved it.
So you're
saying
saying what we just watched is what really happened.
Just an unbelievable scene. Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. This from both teams giving him words of encouragement.
Wow, we think Reddit's bad. Can you imagine how 80,000 people say you deserve it? You deserve it.
Just an unbelievable scene. Deshaun Watson carted off.
Wow, what's that tell? I mean, you got to hate. As an organization, man, you got to get rid of this dude.
Yeah.
Have
you ever heard anyone say that to an injured athlete in any context ever?
Never.
Ever?
Never.
Neither have I. I mean, this is a cancel culture world right now, and even in the last 3 years, nothing even close to this. You always feel badly for the injured athlete.
Always do.
Always. Even as the other team.
Just an unbelievable scene. Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. This from both teams.
Now he's feeling the shame of one of his masseuses.
Words of encouragement.
And here's the thing, man. This isn't a few people in a couple sections. This is the entire,
the whole stadium.
80% of the stadium, in order for it to be this loud and be articulated this well,
Just an unbelievable scene. Deshaun Watson carted off the field. This was seconds ago. This from both teams giving him words of encouragement. See the emotion outpouring.
In a movie, the guy would commit suicide after this. You know what I mean? It's that bad where the actual entire town turns on you.
Yeah, but now he's going to get so many massages because of rehab, Dan, so he can't go yet.
No one deserves that.
This is Myles Garrett. Probably at this point their only real player left of all pro quality.
No one deserves that.
And so now what do you got, man? Now you got the players that are mad at the fans And now you got the fans that are being, chastised and scolded by their big time, this guy's, recognized and received as the best Brown on, although he's had a checkered past and didn't he do a really, really dirty hit on one of the Steeler guys?
Mason Rudolph, he
hit him with his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like swung his helmet at him?
Oh, yeah.
Like in a fight?
And gotten suspended.
That's assault.
Yeah.
Deserves that.
I like the shoelace holes in his jacket.
I've seen him work his ass off to, get back here, and put a smile on his face and, try to put everything that's outside the facility behind him. Death threats, people come to his house, people, going after his family. No, like I said, no one deserves that. And I hate using the word deserves. I'm usually, pretty consistent saying earned. He hadn't earned it, and he doesn't deserve it. Man does pretty much everything right. He's been a,
stellar human
model
being.
citizen through college and most of the pros. He plays the game as hard as anyone I've seen.
Right. You played it so hard that he needed massages with happy endings. And when we first drafted him and gave away three number ones.
3 number ones. Two number twos.
2 number twos.
2 number threes and a fourth.
2 number hold on. So 2 hold on.
2 number twos, one number three, and
hold
2
on.
fourths.
3 ones.
Yes.
2 twos.
Yes.
How many threes?
A third, 1/3.
1/3.
And 2 fourths.
2 fourths.
And they got a fourth back.
So what do you think is worse, Bubba? Electrocuting 3 dogs or sexually assaulting 30 women during massages?
Well, the electrocuting of 3 dogs got you 18 months in prison and you never recovered.
Except for he did recover.
Yeah.
Puts everything on the line.
He was forgiven.
Willing to throw his body out there, and he plays the game at 100 miles per hour, and there's a risk of being injured.
The same RPMs that they're required on his penis for the happy endings.
And he took that risk. But we have to be there for him as a team, as an organization. We can't look down on the guy because of any mistakes on the field or anything off the field. We don't have anything. We don't have any more high ground to look down on the guy.
You can't.
Some of us do.
You can't. Thank you, Seth. I was going to say you can't tell the fans on their personal opinion of a player and some of his off-field antics. You cannot shove down what they're supposed to act like. They hate this guy.
When he gets injured like that in non-contact play.
I don't know where that came from.
No one deserves that.
Jameis gave the best speech, though,
He did.
considering of his checkered past.
Yeah,
What did he say?
exactly. Here it is. This is Jameis right here.
He's got glasses.
Who's, by the way, 3rd string now on the Browns.
Nice Mr. Rogers sweater.
Raised, I was taught to love no matter the circumstances.
Jameis is very evangelical, is it not?
Yes.
That's what happens when you have no career.
For people who do right by you. I'm grateful that I had a chance to serve Deshaun, but I am very upset with the reaction to a man that has had the world against him for the past 4 years, and he put his body and life on the line for this city.
Now, hold on. He was also paid over $200 million of very much not like the NFL regular operates, where they backload, half of that, and you never see it.
He's acting like he's a suicide bomber.
But wasn't he one of the very, very first that started the big guarantee?
Deshaun?
Yeah.
He's the only person that's had his contract guaranteed in NFL history, and he will be the only person that has it guaranteed.
Right.
No one's making that mistake again.
So don't sit here, Jameis, and tell us all the sacrifices that he's done and how he basically is one of the only NFL guys to have his contract fully guaranteed. It doesn't matter if he doesn't play another down of football, he's going to get to the remaining portion of his. Tell me what's left on the Deshaun Watson contract. I probably would say that it's over $100 million.
And he put his body and life on the line for this city every single day, regardless of your perception, regardless of what you thought should happen with him. He committed every single day that I've been here to be the best that he can be for this team. And I know I come from the deep South, Birmingham, Alabama, Bessemer, Alabama. So I know the standard that hungry fans want. But the way I was raised,
So hungry,
92 million.
So
is
hungry, they're
left.
eating W's.
Does he have a podcast? I could listen to him talk all day. I mean, he's talking crazy, but I like it.
Well, I mean, 92 million left.
Yes.
How much has been paid out of it so far? What was? Well,
It was 156 million.
So 56 million's been paid.
156 million was the total of the contract.
156 guaranteed.
Correct.
And there's 92 left.
Yes.
So about 60 some $million have been paid for what, 3 years, and he's only played
19 games.
19 games.
Yes.
And what's his record on the 19 games? For 60 some $1 million. Call it $65 million. 65 divided by 19.
It's roughly a little over three.
3.42 million a game. He makes $3.42 million a game based on what's been paid so far and how many games he's played. And what's his record as a starter?
Let me find that for you.
At $3.4 million a click.
It looks like it is 9-10.
9-10.
Yes.
Losing.
I will never pull on a man when he's down. But I will be the person to lift him up. And that, all of us.
What are you now, a motivational coach?
He's such a joke.
Going from a backup to a backup? Going from third string to now you're what, Johnny Motivational?
He's good. Like, couldn't he be like a pastor or something?
They should go with Church Without Walls. Okay. Next. Randy White needs some help.
Down. But I will be the person to lift him up. And that, all of us have unique experiences. All of us have circumstances, conditions, and facts that we face every single day.
Look how much Jameis Winston has made in the league.
All right.
I bet you he's made over $200 million in the league.
He's made over 100. He's made over 100.
I guarantee he's made over $100 million.
He's throwing a lot of money.
I'm gonna
He
say
still can't get glasses that fit his head.
I'm gonna say he's made 50.
50 million?
Yeah.
Day. And I pride myself in being a man of increase and being a man that wants the best out of everybody. I tell myself every morning what I want for myself,
76.
I want for everyone.
So he's made $76 million.
And I do not want the treatment that Deshaun Watson has received from the.
Listen, it doesn't really matter what you want, Johnny Third String. It doesn't matter. The 80,000 people at the Dog Pound hate your quarterback. And again, Seth made a great point. You had Baker Mayfield. You were putting a big PR push into. Remember where he lived at the stadium and that big. It was
the State Farm. Was it State Farm?
Yeah, I mean he was the face.
One of them.
He was the face of one of the Fortune 5, the State Farm or Allstate or whatever. He was a huge. They were pushing him huge. He was a huge push, and all he needed was the right coaching and surroundings. He's killing it down here. You guys had a guy that had the skill set to make you a winner, and you got rid of him for this guy, not Jameis. And the city hates him. I don't know of another NFL city that hates their starting quarterback more so than this guy.
They're cursed. You think they're cursed because they left Cleveland in the first place?
Yeah.
And
I think they're cursed because I don't know who their general manager is, Lummy, but whoever the general manager that made that deal, 3 number 1s, 2 number 2s, a third, 2 4s. I mean, and $156 million, of which all of it is guaranteed. That guy could be the worst general manager. Is he still there? 1, and 2. They just got rid of Amari Cooper, too, did they not?
Yeah, they traded him to the Bills.
Well, the way they get for Cooper? A second?
No.
A third?
Yeah.
It's the same guy, Andrew Berry.
Yeah, where did this ass bucket come from? Andrew Berry.
Harvard.
Hold on.
Well, his college is Harvard, and he was a scouting assistant for the Colts.
There you go. That's the only NFL experience he's got. He graduated from Harvard, and he was a scouting assistant for the coach.
Bubba, this is on the owner. You can't guarantee a deal. That's the owner that has to do that. And then when you want to give up all that compensation, that's something you have to go to the owner about. So
God, man.
Everybody. I tell myself every morning what I want for myself, I want for everyone.
I want to be second string.
He's got it.
He's got it now.
Yeah. I'm second string now. Bitches. I want some crab legs and second string.
Do you not feel like he's a good orator?
No, he is. He needs to be an evangelical pastor.
He was a locker leader at the Bucs. I mean, the guy's got guy has the gift of gab. He knows how to speak well.
Yeah, but then
and he's entertaining.
And but you get Mike Evans, and Godwin be like, whatever.
That's the thing.
I just think you got real all pros on that Bucs team that he played for.
Well, especially since they've had Brady now.
They would be like, oh man, come on, Johnny Rah Rah, just give me the ball. You threw 30 picks, kid.
He's eating a W.
The treatment.
Is what?
When he was eating a W, everyone was rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson has received from these passionate fans.
See, here's the thing, man. When you get a couple of your high-profile players chastidating your fans, your fans are only going to hate that guy more. They don't want to be told who they're supposed to like. They want to like. The fans will judge you on your performance on the field and in some instances the baggage you bring to the game.
But even if you suck, man, they're not going to they're not booing anybody if they suck and they get hurt. It's
protocol.
It's across all sports that when a guy gets hurt, no matter if he's the enemy, whatever, like you always clap for him when he's going off.
You're a gentleman, and you're like, I hope the guy's okay.
Yeah, that's the number one thing about sports here. But this goes beyond that because they are taking into account everything that's happened off the field with Deshaun Watson. When Jameis is only thinking about what's happened in Cleveland since Jameis has been there.
Right.
That Deshaun Watson has received from these passionate fans. I know you love this game. When I first got here, I knew these were some amazing fans. But Deshaun was treated badly. And now he has to overcome another obstacle.
And again, man, the fans, when you bring this type of baggage to the deal, there's a lot of pressure on you. Now, listen. On the flip side, had Deshaun gone out on Game 12, Lummy, when he was eligible,
yes,
lights out, came in like the guy from Baltimore, or came in like a C.J. Stroud, or came in like a wrecking ball, and instead of being 9-10, he was 15-4. You know what? They wouldn't be, but and having given up all the draft credit, all the draft stock and it's all about. It's like it goes back to the Al Davis deal. Just win, baby. Win. Winning cures everything. If he was 14-5, the Cleveland Browns wouldn't be saying you deserve it.
Maybe not.
No.
Doc Quantum had a good point in chat. He's like, the fans don't have control of who the owners put on the field. It's the only way for them to express themselves. That's their only control that they have to give dissatisfaction like that. So I think they expressed it.
And their attitude and opinion is directly upon the success of said individual. If said individual was killing it right now, and said individual wasn't 9-10 with the largest guaranteed contract in the NFL, and you're going to have to eat his deal regardless of if he continues to lose or win. He's done for the season. And if he was, again, 14-5, 15-4, they probably, I guarantee you, would have a different outlook on this guy. But the guy's been a flop.
What's the record before this weekend?
I think they're 2-4, Lummy.
Going in 1-6.
I think they're 1-6.
They're horrible.
Yeah, they're 1-6. They're 1-6 with this guy. They got shoved down their throat. Let's not forget, Dan, they had Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
That guy can win. Mm-hmm. If you just manage him correctly, put some people around him, he can win. And you gave I think he was a number 1 overall, or at least a top 5, was he not?
A number one pick.
Right. So it's like, now, Lummy, I don't even know how many number 1s they got left. They've given away so many. They may not have a number 1 till like 2030.
They're horrible.
when we return, Donald Trump works at McDonald's, and some dude, Dan, don't shoot your truck.
I'm not going
because
to.
it's not bulletproof. I think
You should be talking to Macho about this.
I think the only thing that's bulletproof on that truck are the windows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the sides or the back, especially the back tailgate.
Well, it all has the same stainless steel skin on it, so it depends on how much a stainless steel 1/8 of an inch skin can stop.
Yeah, well, we got both of those stories next. Hold on.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Women's. I will loves a women's. What up, Abe? What's up, Brian?
What's up, Big Buck?
Today repping the man, representing the man. But I'm here today repping the man,
What up,
representing the
Todd?
man who carries those same values. Donald Trump.
What up, Buck? That's pretty funny, Hector.
And he knows what it takes to make America.
What up, Berto? If Florida was in play, I think Trump would definitely consider that. Man, I wish that Bucks game started at 7, though. I'll tell you that right now. I will tell you that right now.
Was all man. And I say that in
They
all
should.
due respect to women, and I love women.
Or something like that.
But this
If they're gonna have the West Coast game at 8.
This guy.
Yeah.
'Cause that would be a 5 o'clock start there. I mean, at least give us like maybe 6 o'clock. Look at 2-hour difference. 6 and 8.
You know I'm with it, Lummy.
Or 6 and 9, whatever, for the West Coast.
Oh shit, Mick Foley will be in town November 9th? Are you cool with him, Bubba?
Who?
Mick Foley?
Who's that?
No, are you cool with Mick Foley's gonna be in town?
Who's Nick Foley?
Mick Foley.
Oh, I know Mick.
But are you cool with him?
Yes.
Okay. I'm asking if he's trying to get on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to figure that out here. Nick Foley.
Did you see him spud? We had the infamous spud.
No, I know. I don't know how the wrestling community, they seem to be very polarizing with you, you know? Brother? Nick, can I go through you for Mick Foley or should I go through the official channels?
Channels.
But Nick said he's going to be with Mick. Nick and Mick.
Nick and who else?
Nick the gun guy.
Oh, well, tell Nick to go. Tell
Yeah, he's going to an independent show in Seminole, and then he's going over to the Tampa one too.
Oh,
his son-in-law is in that CCW thing.
Oh, the clown-looking guy? The weird guy?
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
Yeah.
We got nothing on PayPal today. Nothing.
Should I go through Daniel Rose? Are you fucking with me, guys? What up, Decaf?
No, he's going to the Seminole place, and then he's supposed to head over to CCW for a little bit because his son-in-law.
No, I believe that, Lemmy, but I'm saying I'm talking to Nick. Nick said go through Daniel Rose for Mick Foley.
Nick doesn't like Daniel Rose, so.
I'm just seeing if we had a connect or if we needed to go through his publicity team. All right, we can talk about it.
Redneck.
We can talk about it after the show, I guess.
Morning, Abe from Maine.
probably like to promote the event. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's got a book too, doesn't he, or something?
Seriously, if the playoffs started today, all NFC North teams make the playoffs.
I know. Packers are the 3rd seed.
All right, Nick, thanks, man. Let me know what I got to do.
Detroit's the 1st seed.
What up, Andrew?
Minnesota's the 2nd. Packers are the 3rd. I think the Bears are the 4th seed.
The Bears would be 7th because they have the division. The other division winners have to be
the
top seeds.
All right.
But yeah, no, they have the Bears are in at 7.
So every team makes it, and the top 3 are the
division
Lions,
winner, yeah.
Minnesota, and Packers.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo Studios.
Aquabedo.com, promo code BUBBA.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We'll do a uncensored show today. That will be let me today. It's the Monday the Monday Bubba After Show is a podcast deal.
Oh, nice.
Isn't it, Seth?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll call it. You guys want to call it 35, or do you hold on? You want to call it 10, or you want to call it 35?
Oh, well, I don't really want to call it Bubba because you could roll in here between 10:20 and 10:50.
I'd call it 10, and then if he comes in at 10:20, we're good.
10?
10:10, you said, right?
Yeah, 10:10.
Yeah.
You know what? I need a few minutes.
You need 20?
I need a few
30?
minutes. I need a few minutes with my chair.
Okay.
Had a very I had a very emotional weekend.
Why?
Well, this was Merch Crick's mom's celebration of life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Saturday.
How was that?
It was good. It was good. It was
the fun? Like I know emotional, but
it wasn't fun. I mean, it was emotional.
Let the people tell stories. It's a celebration.
Well, even
those are
telling
not fun. Those are never fun.
Yeah, I mean, telling stories.
I kicked ass at my friend's funeral. I mean, I sorry.
Yeah, like Dan nailed Joe's celebration of life, but it was a very
torture.
Yeah, I mean, it's
horrible. It's the worst thing ever. A funeral sucks. There's nothing fun about a funeral.
Well, this
unless
was
it's Deshaun Watson's.
I didn't know the body was there. I thought it was a celebration of life. I didn't know it was like a funeral. No,
the ashes were there because she was cremated, so we had her ashes there, and then we had it, pictures all around the room. And just it was really Erica did her and my sister planned it all, and
did she speak?
Yeah, Merch Crick opened up the deal. There was only one bad part of the deal, and that's when I don't really want to get into this because his family might get mad at me, but so Merch Crick talked first.
So you're gonna get into it?
I'm gonna get into it a little bit. Merch Crick talked first and just nailed it. Had it all written down. I told her when she was writing it, listen. There was about 45 people there.
So you Redneck 25?
And I was like, people's attention span is about 10 minutes. Like you can get in everything you need to, and don't reflect upon when she was on her deathbed. Reflect upon what she meant to you and other people as a mother, and the good things that she did as a mom, and the people that she helped, and just how good of a person Virginia was, and just, how she was an unbelievable mother. And, do that. That's where you come in at. Well, and so she nailed it. And then they're in the family, within their family, they have a woman named Debbie, and her name's Pastor Debbie, and she's actually a pastor at, I think, a local church. I don't know where. But man, the minute she started, and Merch Crick was about 8 minutes. And so now you got to understand, Seth, it's catered. So we got the catering table, right behind me. And I can smell the chicken fingers, and I can smell, the all they got, and they got it catered up real nice. And so Merch Crick goes and just really delivers a really nice, eulogy about her mother, and her mother is just an unbelievable woman and things like that. And then Pastor Debbie comes up, and this woman starts talking, and I instantaneously turned to my sister and I said, she's got the it factor. You know how somebody, as soon as they start speaking, they kind of take command of the room. And now she's a pastor by profession, so she's probably really good at this.
This is what she does.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she really projects well. She really interacts with the audience. And the audience was about 40, 45 people in a nice, quaint little setting. And Pastor Debbie, just doesn't make it real religious, goes to some scriptures and things like that, talks about Job and talks about just different, John 3:16, of course, Lummy, but just goes and kind of sprinkles in some scripture along with just some of her unbelievable thoughts and memories of Jeannie. That's Erica's mom's nickname, Jeannie. And it was she just absolutely nailed it. I was like, wow. Whoa. Remind me of has anybody ever seen like a Paula White?
Yeah.
Before is anybody familiar with Paula White? Her and Randy White used to be
Without Walls.
Without
Right?
Walls.
Yeah.
I think that's disbanded. I think they got divorced, and Randy kind of retired. And I think Paula went on to she's the head of a mega church in Orlando, like a huge mega church. But Dan, are you familiar with Paula White?
I know who she is. I mean, I know she's a good speaker too.
Oh, she's unbelievable. I met her with Dion back in the day when Dion was with Pilar, and they came to town, and Dion asked me to go to church with him, and I did. And he goes, Sponge, you're probably the last person that needs to be in the church, but you're really the first person that needs Jesus. That's what he said to me. I go, Dion, I'm not real good at church. He goes, just follow me. So Dion made me get up, and I had to speak. They made me speak.
Really?
Yeah.
Like your first time there, and you guys
So
speak.
Dion,
That's a tall order.
Church Without Walls. And it was when Randy and Paula were married, and Dion, I'm backstage, and like Church Without Walls, man, they had a nice facility.
Was it like the Righteous Gemstones?
Oh yes, very much so. And so Dion gets up and speak. Randy introduces Dion, and then Dion gets up and speak, and Dion goes, I got a special guest. My Dion imitation is probably
spot on.
It's actually hold on. My Dion, listen, I want to go ahead and acknowledge all the naysayers are right. My Dion impersonation is so bad that it's good. Okay? It's so bad and that it's comical. But Dion's like, I just want to let you know, you put a microphone in front of a man for 4 hours, he's about to say something you will not like. And he goes, but he's my friend, and I know where his heart is. I don't know how much Jesus he's got in his heart, but he's got a good heart. Put your hands together for one of my friends. I call him a good friend. As soon as I say his name, instantaneously everybody's going to have an opinion.
Breaking character.
He goes, his name's Bubba the Love Sponge. And I went out there, and I mean, listen, the one place they won't usually boo you is church. Remember that.
They gave you the Deshaun Watson?
No, they didn't. They put me over because here I am now going to talk to him. And so, I mean, I'd made it short and sweet. I was like, listen, a lot of you probably know who I am and what I do. I probably do not do a lot of things according to the Bible, but I'm a good person, and I try to do good things for my community. And I can tell Jay's here with the Joe High Karate. I mean, I didn't even see Jay, but you can smell Jay.
I smell fresh though, right?
Well,
no one else notices
Dan,
it but
you're the closest to him. Is it fresh or is it a little overwhelming because we're the first persons? See, by the time he gets to the office, it's had a chance to shed off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're first. Yeah. We're first up on the deal.
I mean, it's somewhere between fresh and the bathroom with the 4 different kinds of colognes in the dispensary.
Well, I don't know about that. It's just a little heavy.
Is that the truck stop you frequent with your legs wide open with the stall?
Oh,
Jesus.
drugstore called.
Did you know Paula White was Donald Trump's spiritual advisor?
No, I did not.
Really? Yes.
Maybe I should get done. Maybe I should get. You know what?
What does that mean? She sat on his face?
Paula would come on the show. She would. I promise you. To talk about Donald Trump. So anyway, I'm talking about Erica's mother's celebration of life. So this is Saturday. So Merch Crick, Erica goes up, does about 7 minutes, talks about just how, her mom was just unbelievable, her best friend. They spoke as much, just really good things. And then this Debbie chick gets up, and she's a pastor, and she really reminded me, she had the it factor like Paula White. Let me see if you can send me like a Paula White sermon or something so I can play everybody. Because Paula White, not only that, but Paula White, I don't know how old she is, but she's very attractive for however old she is. She's probably my age.
Yeah, she's got to be in her 50s.
She's beautiful. But she really has the it factor. Well, this girl named this Pastor Debbie, who's related to the family, gets up and does her 8 to 10 minutes and just leaves you like, oh my God, on top of the world. Leaves you, and there's some sobbing and there's some crying, as there should be. And then all of a sudden this guy named Nelson comes up, and Nelson, I think, was Jeannie's cousin. And he was kind of the black sheep of the family. Lived with his mother for a long time. And I don't know, just wasn't really that popular in the overall family structure. And he's gonna sing a song, which was a song that was him and Jeannie's favorite song. Well, I turned to Merch Crick and I go, is there any music, or is there any, PA system, or is there anything, that he, in order for his song? She goes, oh no, he can just sing an a cappella. And I'm like,
torture.
Did you send it yet, Lemmy?
Yes, it's the link right there.
The Paula White thing?
Yeah, Paula White Ministries.
Right. How many views? She's got 134,000 subscribers.
Not too shabby.
Let me see here. Is this her right here?
Yes, this is her.
This is for those that aren't familiar with
She's
Paula.
in her 40s. She's not
on
50.
that button right now to subscribe, so that every time a new YouTube video comes out and we're putting it out, you are the first to get it. It's just hot off the grill, as I'd say, and it comes straight to you. It's a now word from God. So it's not just something, and I believe that you can have something from a year, 2 years, 10 years ago that's still anointed, but I love it when you have a rhema word, a right now word, so I can notify you and say, here's what God is saying right now.
Yeah, that's not one of her pastors. Mama, don't give up. Let me just go halfway through this. Let me just catch her in action.
Heart is aching right now. The one who doesn't go to sleep at night, the one that might be in a situation like I was and doesn't even know where your child is, the one that's strained right now, God is going to have mercy on you.
Yeah, see, you're big time pastor when you got the guy on the keyboards behind you.
Today. I believe that God sent me to preach a message.
All right, so anyway, that's Paula White. If you're not familiar with her, I am close to her. She's a great person, and I've actually preached the good word at Church Without Walls, which I don't think is around anymore.
No, it is not.
So Nelson gets up, and Nelson, so that's what we got, Nelson. So we're food's catered up, ready to go. Lummy, crowd, they like Erica's thing. They love Debbie's thing, and now we got Nelson's thing. But Nelson's just gonna literally sing. Now, do you know how tough it is to sound good singing a cappella in a non-soundproof room with no music and no microphone? It would be literally like just singing right there into that microphone right now. Whether it's Seth's Heat of the Moment. We built this city.
I had a new one today. No one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just called to say I love you. Don't forget about Stevie Wonder,
I
man.
just called to say how much I care. So anyway, Nelson gets up and he starts this singing, and I'm like, wow, where in the hell is he coming? He's like he gets like deep down and gets this guttural oomph, if you will, and sounds unbelievable. It's a beautiful song. It's about being together and friends, and it's just like, I'm like, wow. I'm in the entertainment business, and if this I gave this guy a 0 chance of being good. So his song's about 6 minutes, 5 minutes. So at that point, I thought I thought maybe Carlos, Coke Can Carlos, her husband, we thought maybe he'd get up and say something. But instead, her brother Joe, now that's all, Dan, that's all that's supposed to talk. It's catered, ready to go. And we're 30 minutes into this deal. And about after 30 minutes, people start getting restless a little bit. They really do. So next thing you know, her older brother Joe, who she really didn't have that close of a relationship, gets up and says, I want to say something. Like, oh, God. All right. So he starts talking about, he lives in Oklahoma. And I guess Jeannie went out and visited him one time. And he went, and hold on. I'm just going to tell you how long he talked. And it was all just reminiscing of the time that she went out and visited him. And they went to this pile of red dirt because she'd never seen red dirt. And they went to Route 66 bottling thing. So it wasn't even like a spiritual, she's in a better place. She's with her Savior. She was very obviously a religious person, believes in Jesus, this and that. It was all about a trip that she'd made, I don't know how many years ago. And he went, wait till I give you the time, wait for it. He went 20 minutes.
Like Tom Bean's roast.
And so do not let me forget that.
Yes, okay.
The roast, just put down roast because you have to. I have to bring that up.
All right.
So I turned to my sister, and do you know, like when you're losing, when you're losing the room.
Yeah, they start wrestling, making noise. Yes. They're crossing their legs.
Next thing you know, people start kind of whispering. They're kind of moving around. There was a couple kids there. They wanted some drinks. And within Joe's presentation of 20 minutes, him and Carlos start having a conversation back and forth from Carlos's table to Joe's podium, back and forth about different vacations that Jeannie and them had taken. And I told Eric, I said, you've got to put an end to this. So she gets up, and then I think another dude wants to talk.
Jeez.
And then at that point, Carlos wanted to talk. And it just ended, phew. But anyway, it ended up being really, really good. After we got Joe to sit down, everything was pretty much quick. I think Carlos's talk was like, but Lummy, Boo Boo, Boo Boo was supposed to behave. Boo Boo is Merch Crick's dad.
He didn't behave?
He behaved, but he got too drunk at the event, and he had to. And then Vicente, Vicente, Erica's son, drove Boo Boo because we know Boo Boo just couldn't drive that long. He lives out in the sticks of Pasco County, and we knew that there was an open bar, and Boo Boo tends to really go strong on the open. He goes hard in the paint on the open bar, and so Boo Boo behaved very well at the venue, but Vicente had to pull over 2 times for him to puke on the way home because he got too drunk at the celebration. So everything went great. Everything was great. That's kind of what my Saturday was consisted on. After this was noon to 3, then we packed up all the pictures and everything, and then I went to Tara's house and watched the Colorado game.
That's an all-day event because if it starts that late, you got to prepare all day for it. That's an all-day
Actually,
thing.
Tara and Erica went there on Friday to set the room up.
Okay.
So all the flowers and the
it's
pictures.
It's a big project.
It is, very much so. So that was pretty much and then Sunday, Lummy, I literally just laid in the recliner and watched football.
Yeah.
Watched the Packers almost blow it. And so that was pretty much my weekend. Friday, I just kind of hung out a little bit, and I got to go see. I'm supposed to go see my mom today. So
that's nice. Taking her to lunch.
Yeah, sure.
Was you just not going during lunchtime? Is it the problem?
So, Dan, my the aspect of the roast came up, and I wanted to know if we should. One, the roast went so well last year, but the roast, in order to do a roast, you have to have a guy to roast, and your name keeps coming up as the person that we roast. But I don't know if I think you got the swagger to I think you got. See, I'm glad Jay's here because Jay might have a more cooler, calm answer than you. Because I know how you are. You're like, oh, hell yeah, roast me. I can take it. There ain't nothing I can't take. I'm Dan. I mean, because, you literally think you're tougher than you really are. So, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I'm just saying, like, you're the guy that keeps, if we're going to do a roast, you're the guy that keeps coming up that we should roast. But I don't know that if you could, because you hold grudges. And
He also takes a ribbing better than just about anyone I know, other than when he and I are on the radio, which is just kind of the way we interact on the radio.
So what I'm saying, so take you and him interacting on the radio, make it an hour and 45-minute straight cut fest. And I don't know, I mean, I want Dan to do it, but I don't want to cause family issues. I don't want to get Steve flipped out.
Steve said he'll come off the bench for it. Jeff Giuliani will come off the bench for it.
Oh, now see, I didn't even know.
Some people that know him.
Jimmy Cleavis?
Jimmy Cleavis. Well, he's kind of like the frog in Bugs Bunny when you open up, hello, my darling. And he's like, ribbit. He's not good with a microphone. Not good with a microphone.
No.
So he'll be there laughing hard, but he's not going to be there with a microphone.
No, he hasn't.
Seth will be there this year instead of Steve.
The only one that can be roasted is me or Lamy because no one else in the studio could take it.
Well, nah, I couldn't take it either, Seth.
So it's me or Lamy to be roasted.
I don't think Seth. Do you think Seth and intellectually, honestly, do you think? I don't think you could take a roast.
I mean,
for your mentals, are just now really getting strong again. Because some things are going good for you right now. I mean, new brakes and an oil change that cost you nothing is about as good as it gets.
Thank you. Ernesto, Rubber City, Napa Mike, thank you. Bubba, thank you. Dr. Dan, thank you for the toe.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the toe. You threw in a new one. So it's either Dan or Lummy. Lummy, it's like, I really look at Lummy as it's just, he'll just sit there and take it.
Yeah,
he'd be great too.
No, Dr. Dan would be the best.
Lummy'd be awesome.
And so, Dan, what's your opinion on one? Do you want to do it or not? And two, do you think you could get through it?
Well, let's start with number two. I could absolutely get through it. And number one is I can do it as long as you promise. Not that your promises mean anything, but as long as you promise.
Well, as
long as you promise. Let me finish my sentence. That I get to be the roast master going forward if we do it a third and fourth year, because I really like to doing that. I don't want to be the target if I have to permanently give up the master, because I thought I really enjoyed doing that last year, and I kept it moving along, with the exception of Tom. But I kept it moving along. I thought it was funny, and I thought everyone I thought it was cohesive.
Not easy.
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough for me to relinquish the roast master title if I'm not being roasted.
Does he get
what? That makes you the roast master?
Well, I'm just it's
it's
my program.
Right. Well, that's
so
okay.
I'm just saying, like, maybe we could have co-roast masters, but what I'm saying, it's my world,
right?
So. It would be tough for me not to be the roast master if I'm not the one being roasted. Obviously, we opened up the first time we did a roast was me. It may, because that's the way it had to be. Second year we do a roast is you. Now the third year roast, I don't know who it would be, and I don't know if I think I have to be the roast master. But I
agree
certainly
with that, actually.
100%. But I don't have a problem with letting you be the roast master and I just be a participant on the roast. I mean, that's something that we won't probably have to encounter for a couple more years due to the fact that you can't roast master yourself. So in getting roasted, the way it goes is we all go up, and then the last person that has the say-so is the roaster, meaning you close the show out with going through each person that roasted you and having a little something for them.
Right.
So
I could be roasted,
but I think I think me, you, and Jay and Steve probably need to sit down and have some no-go areas because I mean you can't.
I agree with that.
I know your life, and the Jimmy Clevises and the Stevens and the Jeff Charagantes also know your life, and there's some areas that we know that the public doesn't need to know, and I think could be problematic.
I think that's with everybody. There's a couple of topics that are off limit for anyone, and I think, like you, we got to respect it. If he has a couple of things that he just doesn't want to be roasted about, that's fine, because there's so much other material that's funny that he'll just take right on the chin.
Yeah, the other thing is, though, that you can put these, no-go areas, and people are still going to disregard them.
No, they won't.
Well, disregard some of yours. You had no-goes, specific no-goes that were grossly disregarded. Yes,
true.
It's true, Bubba. It's 100% true.
And it almost always happens.
Yeah,
actually.
but hold on. Here's the deal.
Look at the Giselle ones and all those things with Tom Brady.
But I'm just talking about our little world. And Bubba had rules that were violated.
I know.
And if someone violates my rules, they're going to get smacked.
Well,
That's my rule. That's my rule. I'm going to have some rules. You violate them, I'm going to come after you physically.
Well,
no, you're violated.
No, you're not.
Not verbally?
Can we have Hell in a Cell outside, Bubba?
No, you're not.
Boxing
First
match.
First of all, Dan, no, you're not. And secondly, I can control that easier not being the roastee and just being a roaster. I can control what people say more so if I'm getting roasted, I can't control. I'm not supposed to know what they're saying. I can make everybody give me their row and I can go through it. I can't do that if I'm getting roasted. I can't know I'm not
subject matter.
I can't know that, or it takes the spontaneity and the sting away. Whereas if I'm just a panelist and you're getting roasted, and at this point I'll be the roast master, then because I have to be the roast master with you, then I can keep control of that better so than if I'm being roasted.
Yeah, I don't have to do a Will Smith on somebody.
So here's the deal between Jay and Steven. Now, so you, me, and him would come up with some no-go areas.
There's like 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, there
or 5
or 10. Just depends on how long they've known you and how transparent they and how well they know you and how long they've known.
It's like you like Jeff from high school.
Yep. So, Dan, I would like to announce that this year's roast will be you. We'll have to find a date that works for everybody. It's definitely going to be in December. And me and Jay and Steven, I don't even know, Jay, that we have to get with Dan. Well, I think we have to include Dan because there might be some things that we think Dan couldn't absorb that Dan will be like, nah, man, that's not a big deal. Like, I don't.
I think it's a 5-minute discussion where Danny says, please don't talk about these 3 subjects, and we all go cool. And then you get editorial rights that, before you everyone goes, you say, make sure you don't touch on these subjects. If you do, Dan's going to karate chop you in the throat.
Quite frankly, I don't know of only a handful of, it might
There's
only.
not a bunch.
Well, no, hold on. But here's the deal. The average, like Seth and Macho Man and Rhett and Lummy, most of the stuff that we can't talk about, Jay, they don't even know about.
No, and that's what I'm saying. There's so much other funny material that it's like, you don't need to go there.
Right. Most of it so kayfabe, been suppressed, been taken care of.
There'd be 4 of us laughing.
Yeah, that nobody would even get the joke, and we get punched in the throat.
Can we get John Gruden in here?
Oh, speaking of which,
he would do it. He knows Danny well enough. He'd roast his ass so hard.
Speaking of which, I was watching his channel, and
it's good.
We've got to get him on because you know why? He's
a friend.
He said he'd do it.
He follows us.
But he's had hurricanes for the last 3 weeks.
But
Dan's friend.
Hear me out. I was watching the John Gruden channel this weekend, and he gave a tour of his formerly fired coaching facility. It's called, I forget what he calls it. And he's got a Raider room, and he's got a Buccaneer room, and he's got a Packer room, and he's got, all these different rooms. And let me, I kind of, and Jay and Dan and Seth and everybody knows, how I've been blackballed from regular radio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be
pretty. I've never heard about that before.
But I really feel like, and Coach Gruden is, you could literally plug him into about any program, pro or college in America, and he will instantaneously make a difference.
Who'd be good would be the Cowboys.
And I feel like I am Bubba Gruden in the fact that I got screwed on how I got blackballed. I got screwed, and everybody's afraid to give me a chance for whatever reason, just like everybody's afraid to give Gruden a chance for whatever reason. And if they would give me a chance, I would make an immediate impact to wherever you put me, just because I've been doing broadcasting so long. And I think the show that I put together is, it may not be your cup of tea, and you may critique it and hate it and talk about what's wrong with it, but it's better than 95% of anything else that's offered terrestrially. So I feel like me and John Gruden kind of have something in common in the fact that we're both ready to play the game. We're both huge, huge difference makers, but for whatever reason, we've messed up, made a small little mess up, and it's been exacerbated into a black ball. And so I think me and Coach Gruden have a lot in common. I'm the Bubba Gruden of regular radio.
You'd be in the Radio Hall of Fame just like him if it wasn't for what happened.
Right. And realistically, what I did, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. For what I've done and what I did doesn't equate to an 8 going on 9-year public blackball of radio. And what John did.
Nor does his.
That's what I'm getting ready to say. And what John did, Coach Gruden, a few emails to, at that time, General Manager Bruce Allen from the Washington Commanders, making fun of the commissioner and a few other things, might warrant a couple game suspension, might warrant a heavily, worded letter from the commissioner. It doesn't equate to a straight out 100% non-grata blackball of all of football.
Especially when you ask the players who played for him at that moment and over the years whether they thought he was a racist. And I don't remember a single person coming forward and saying yes. I remember every player that I saw that came forward said, absolutely no.
So I'm sorry, Dan, try again to get him in as a guest, because it'd be softball after. So I got nothing but love for him.
Man, I wish I had this video that he sent me once on the golf course where my dad was getting ready to tee off and they were playing doubles, his dad and my dad, and he was harassing my dad, like heckling him as he was getting ready to tee off. And it was the funniest 30-second video. I wish I had saved it.
Anyway, Dan, see if you can get that done.
Yes, sir.
And secondly, you're good with roasting as long as, we have a little family meeting.
Okay.
We'll have a little family meeting. And you know who the one we're going to have to really keep our eye on? You know the one that's going to bring the most heat?
Mm-hmm.
Brian.
Of course.
And I'm just going to tell Brian, come on, Brian, just, deep down, you and Brian are like the coyote and the road runner. You run all day chasing each other, doinking each other over the head, but at the end of the day, you're punching out the clock saying, see you later, Brian, see you later, Dan.
The biggest difference is that he doesn't occupy as much real estate in my head as I appear to in his.
I don't know, man.
I don't think about Brian when I'm not talking about him actively on the air.
When you're not incessantly watching the show when you're not on air.
Which I don't.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
good day. See you, Dan.
Remember we used to clap for you when you left, Dan?
Hi, Danny.
Yeah, we used to do it like Elvis. Dan has left the building. He used to leave in the middle of the bit on purpose. Good morning, everybody. The Brian Gilson. Good morning, buddy. Dan is actually one of the best recipients of roasts in private of anyone we know. Dan's fine, Terry. The problem is Brian will go right to the edge of what's right. Just to fuck with Dan. What up, group of lips? What's up, Paul Rogers? It's funny, man, but it's a boss. How you doing, buddy? Paul, how you doing? What's up? My ex lives in a storage shed. TNT, how you doing, buddy? What's up, Abe from ME? Is that Maine? What's up, Ion, 4am, Big Buck, how you doing? Mitch, I want to say what up. Terry says you've been working with him a little bit.
Feels good outside.
It feels awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't forget to smash the like button, everybody.
That's right.
What's up, Highway 73? Tap 10 times. Speed Racer 26, good morning. Stumpy 62.
What's up, Bulldog Tommy? Don't forget the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App.
Yeah, don't forget those. We've only got, what, 9 or 10 days left in the month.
You voting early?
I'm usually a day or, I don't know, you?
No, usually it's a day.
Can I be the head writer for the roast?
Sure, you can.
I need to have you help me write. I'll tell you something. It's not easy to do one.
I know.
It's very difficult to do it with Bubba, and thank God Steven's much funnier than I am, and he came up with some good things, because you have to kind of do it in a way that's not going to upset them. But it's
Big
hard.
Buck, let me.
It's
Big
tough,
Buck.
dude.
Oh, I
mean,
I'll say
you know, Steven came up with this suggestion to like compare him to Trump. You know that Trump's never seen anything he doesn't want to name on. Bubba's, that. So it's really like putting him over, not in a bad way. You know what I mean?
Man,
so I didn't go to like those topics because I know better. That's not my relationship with Bubba. I wasn't gonna fuck with him like that.
Glad I wasn't here for the one last year.
You would have done great.
No, I don't.
It was funny as shit.
Jay, I feel. You know what? I don't even want to say it because I'm gonna get roasted. But I just feel like roasts are just mean. I think they're mean spirited. That's right. I said it. I'm like fucking Howard
It's okay,
Stern.
but you don't have to be the. You know what I mean? There can be like people in the middle of it. That's the whole thing.
I feel like people say really true things under the guise of it being like funny, and I don't know.
Well, I found like Martha Stewart was less about Justin Bieber and more about the other people on the stage.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like funny, you know?
Right. Yeah.
A little bit of
true.
self-deprecation. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It can be just brutal.
I mean, shit, I caught strays last year. I wasn't even fucking here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com, promo code BUBBA. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
So, $100 from Buck.
Big Buck.
PayPal on the PayPal Venmo Cash app. Thank you, Buck. Hundo. First activity of the day over there. So, I did talk about when Austin from Wolf Fencing comes to fix that, the left side, over there by the goats.
Yes.
It's like it's almost fallen down, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I noticed something on Saturday.
Or is the homeless people climbing on it?
Well, I think that might happen because I noticed something on Saturday. And
Can you tell me?
Well, no, I just saw some bottles that I don't think you'd be drinking back there.
I think that
it looks like they stepped on it.
It looks like to me, I went and looked at it a little bit. Oh, a couple things. One, remind me of just the fish, okay?
Yes.
But so I went and walked the perimeter yesterday, Sunday, and it looks like they're living back there more than they ever have.
Yeah, but I would say that. I looked over Saturday.
Were they there hanging out?
No, they.
Or is it just remnants?
Remnants. They're a bunch of. Really, what the city should do, Lummy, is just bring a bulldozer.
Yes.
And completely clear that whole entire area because it's so overgrown and woods and trash.
Oh yeah.
And it's not trash from us; it's trash from them.
People have.
And it's such a thicket that it's just not good. But they need to go in there and clean that up, but we can't. And then the other thing is, it looks like they're kind of smashing our fence.
It looks like that.
They're
yeah.
hanging on it.
Yes.
So
can you set up a camera?
Nah, I mean,
they make little remote rings or whatever.
But there's nothing. What are we going to do? I can't shoot them.
Well, no. Then that way you can give a complaint to the police and say, "Here's them actually climbing on the fence. Can we do something about it?" If you have, saying that you suspect they do it versus giving them something on a silver platter.
They don't care.
There's a way to. Do you have trespass signs in the back?
Yes,
there?
I do.
Okay, there's a way to do that. They should be at least trespassing them because I had a guy that was living in the back of my office. Now, I am between two elementary schools, so it's a little bit different. But first they told me get the signs up, and then once you get the signs up, we will go and we will trespass the people, whoever they are.
Well, anyway, and then we have this Broderick, the African American. Lummy, homeless man who now is obsessed with our goats, and I think one of the things that's happening, Lummy, but one of the reasons why the fence is falling down is because he gets the goats to climb on the fence for him to hand them whatever the hell he's handing them, whatever treats he's giving them.
Yes,
which scares me in the fact that I don't want anybody outside of who works here feeding those goats.
No.
We all know we have goat feed, we have bananas, carrots. We know
what to feed them.
We know what to feed them, and we know what they like. And what if he poisons them?
Yeah.
How many years have you had them?
God, what, going on 5?
Before COVID.
18, I think. So 6.
Yeah, you guys obviously know how to take care of goats.
Yeah, we do a great job until the homeless people mess with them. The other thing is, Lummy.
Yes.
I saw the catfish.
Yes, the big ones.
How many do we have?
6 now. I saw a baby one, yeah.
Well, I saw a pretty big one yesterday.
Yeah, we got about 5 big ones.
Secondly, are those kind of middle-sized fish, are those bluegill?
Yes.
Okay. And then thirdly, you can see the tadpoles kind of running around. Now, is that what the bluegills eat?
That's what they lay, and most of the time eat them. Too.
So what I'm thinking is, now I didn't see any bass in there.
The bass is out there.
How many do we got?
We got 1.
Well, I'm thinking that we're getting so many of these mid-sized bluegills that we might need like 3 bass.
Then we'll have no pond.
Oh.
The bass is taking it. Trust me, it's taking it. You'll start seeing some fish go away.
So what I'm thinking is that builds bigger bluegills because the bass won't hit on anything that he can't eat.
Correct.
So he only hits on bluegills that he can hit.
Yeah, I mean.
So does that make the bluegills bigger? And
they'll just keep spitting out little baby fish for him to eat.
Right, but there comes a point where you probably need maybe 1 or 2 more bass out there.
1 more bass. Fish on Jay's working on getting a female bass.
Oh.
Just very difficult to just catch that one bass. That's a female, but he's working on it.
Can we buy a female bass?
Probably can.
Yeah, let's just buy one, and then
Okay.
what do they have? Fish sex, and
Yeah,
then
they'll have fish sex, and then we'll have a third baby. I mean, a third bass.
right. So I did see the catfish, and the catfish is
They're big.
getting pretty big.
We can catch them and barbecue them up for barb.
No, we're not gonna catch anything out of our place and barbecue anything. We do have a barbecue parameter, but
We're not doing any exotic meats.
No more barbecue anything.
I can't get my
Bubba related.
damn. Lummy.
You can't move your mouse.
Need a new battery?
I don't know. Okay, there it is. It's just there you go. Okay. I got to think Donald Trump may not want this endorsement. And did the Trump campaign allow Antonio Brown? I got to think that if
What do you think? He did a run-in like WWE?
What I'm saying is, if this looks like to be an organized
Trump's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This
The
is
Trump rally.
All right. So is this? I mean,
Did you see the woman that ran on this game, the field?
Yes, I got that coming too. But does he not know that Antonio Brown's a loon job?
He knows that there's a large swath of African American men who are supporting him who have been prosecuted, persecuted, alienated, ignored, and so you may want to put him in that category.
And taking their shirt off at a game and quit.
I mean, I know what he's
and had to be flushed out of their South Tampa home at gunpoint by the police.
Had a mental breakdown on air live.
Right.
But I'm here today representing a man who carries those same values. Donald Trump.
I hope he didn't have the same values as you, Antonio.
This is the most reserved I've seen him.
He knows success, and he knows what it takes to make America great again. And to be real, we all have experienced highs and lows, especially me in my career as a Super Bowl champion and life as a father to 7 amazing children. I have experienced low points and have to overcome adversity. Just how I watched Donald Trump overcome adversity. No matter what the media threw at him, no matter what people say to try to bring him down, he continued to push forward and keep getting back up. And he's always ready for the fight. Fight.
Look at that.
Fight.
I think somebody had to highly Zanny him up.
He may be, but I'll tell you something, dude. That's one of the most reserved speeches I've ever heard out of that guy's mouth, ever.
Fight. I love that. But I'm here today repping the man.
So that's it, huh?
Well, it's just like I said. There's a large swath of the public, whatever race they are, of men who feel alienated.
It seems to be that Trump has kind of lately, kind of like, and he didn't. I don't think he's specifically targeting it, but it just kind of organically has appeared that African American men are really, really, really kind of stepping out and endorsing Donald Trump these last couple weeks before the election. And it seems to be the core of demographic that's really stepped up have been black men.
Well, that's because a week ago, you probably remember Barack Obama chastised black men for not voting for or supporting Kamala. And so there was a huge backlash of people that said, we don't want to be told what to do. And so he appeals to the Republican version of a man.
Did you see the Stephen A. Jackson? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
He went off on it. He said, I'm voting for Kamala Harris, and he was still offended by Obama telling me what to do.
Trump or Tramp. This is the former Steeler.
That's the shirt. That's hilarious.
Levante Bell.
Le'Veon
Bell. And he's at, looks like maybe, I don't know if he's at an airport.
I think he was at the rally as well, Bubba.
Was he?
Yeah, because they were, I don't know if they were near Pittsburgh. They were in Pennsylvania. So
No, they were by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so that's why they rolled out a couple of old Steelers. But a lot of people were very unhappy with Le'Veon Bell, asking if his mom would approve of wearing a shirt like that. And people did point out about talking about the Tramp that Le'Veon Bell does have 7 kids with 6 women. But look, he's just wearing a shirt. There doesn't need to be a whole background.
So now they're going to start making fun of players for having a lot of children with lots of women. I mean, that's every player for 40 years. That has nothing to do with it.
Hope they don't give Sean Kemp one. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, What does it matter what your background is?
It doesn't.
You're trying to show who your candidate is. It doesn't matter what your background is. It really doesn't.
Well, I think they're saying that he's a hypocrite for...
Everybody is.
Sure.
Everybody's a hypocrite.
Well, yes, that's what we try to do online, though, is we find the hypocrite. We go, hey, you're a hypocrite, and then nothing happens.
But Arnold Palmer was all man.
No, they're saying...
This is funny.
They're saying that Trump might have been a meat gazer and taking a look at Arnold Palmer's hog. And that that's
Weren't you?
Well, I mean, I've never
Didn't
seen,
you?
No, I've never seen Arnold Palmer's
No,
hog.
not his. But didn't you tell me about like on the air how you noticed who was hung and who wasn't? Didn't you when you were in the locker room?
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay, meat gazer.
I don't know where.
But I don't think you didn't talk about it when you were running for sheriff.
I didn't talk about it when I was running for sheriff. And secondly, I played organized sports to be in a shower setting to know what my fellow teammates were working with. I don't know of an instance as to when Donald would have been showering next to Arnold Palmer.
Maybe in the golf club.
Oh, in the club.
Unless they're
up in the club.
If they're in the club and they're taking a pee on the around the bushes like some men do, Lummy, and you see a guy's hog.
That's right.
Okay.
But Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women.
Oh, my God.
But this is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh, my God. That's unbelievable.
Is there a rumor? Do you know if there was a rumor in the golf field that he was like hung?
He needs to stay on script.
Do you think so? Like, you know how there was rumors in, I think you'd said it before, in the WWE or WWF way back in the day of a guy who was really, really, really
Lanny
well hung.
Poffo, which is Randy Macho Man's brother, and Virgil were the two big guys that were so large they could sell fellatio.
So I wonder if he had the same,
I wonder if in the PGA
reputation.
and the professional and the PGA, let me like Fuzzy Zeller would come out and tell Jack Nicklaus, man, you should see Arnold in there.
Exactly. That's what I wonder.
I had to say it. We have women that are highly sophisticated here. But Arnold Palmer was all man.
Is he tired? You think he's really like tired of the teleprompter?
Probably.
And so he's
Yes.
he's going to just do whatever is on his head for the next however many days we're in this.
And what we only 16?
You know what I think? I think it's a comedy routine now to him. He does his script, and then I think he goes off and he plays the room, and if he has a room that's going to laugh at things, I think he says things that are outlandish for a politician, but not for a comedian.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on here. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 days till the first Tuesday of November. 16 days. Wow. Donald Trump worked as a fry cook and then did some drive-through action at McDonald's. I think this is the stuff he needs to do.
Yep.
This really plays well with people. And even if they had to, and they're saying now that they staged people to go through the drive-through, none of this was organic. Well, I really don't care. Quite frankly, I think it shows that he is not afraid to do a drive-through job. Kamala, she allegedly or supposedly worked at a McDonald's, so this is kind of a little fu back to her because she hasn't done it, and now she can't do it because she looked like a copycat.
Yeah.
So I think this plays well. I just wish they would have put in one, like with all the soft and fuzzy softballs that they threw through the drive-through. I wish they would have put on like in a Kamala supporter and made him look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like made him look like, like, man, you take EBT cards, man, you take free like an immigrant who is not supposed to be there and is using some of his free federal money to pay. That would have been funny, would it not? Yeah.
Is this supposed to show that he's like a hard worker? Because I did fast food at Burger King for 9 months on Van Dyke Road in Lutz, and
on Saturday.
I did many shifts, and if you just had to man fries for 30 minutes, like that would probably be the best day of my life.
Well, I think he's doing it for two reasons. One is to show that there's no job beneath him, but the other one is to show that Kamala Harris said early on that in her history she worked at McDonald's, but she's been unable to prove it. Like you just said, the location of it.
Oh, yeah.
She's never been able to say the location. She never has a check. There's no manager at the local. There's no one that can verify it for her. So he calls her out at one point. He goes, "I've worked now 15 minutes more at McDonald's than she has."
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, she's mocking Kamala.
He's like trying to create this narrative. She's a liar.
And the fact that she does rest. She has made several suggestions that her first job was at McDonald's.
Right.
But in fact checking, even CNN and the people that are usually pro her, nobody's been able to find the manager or the location as to where she worked to verify.
Running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story.
So again, he kind of sets it up.
Did he eat a fry? Because I know he loves McDonald's.
He says that too.
Yeah, here we go.
Want to work the French fry counter? Absolutely. Okay, how much are you paying me? How much are you paying? Hello, everybody.
Look how natural he is when he interacts with people.
Good job on the first day.
Oh!
Should I take off my jacket? I think so. The press wants to see this. He's a wealthy guy. He owns a lot of McDonald's. That's great. Thank you. Okay.
That's when you know you're home. When you put on the uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Mr. Crumb, what's your favorite thing to order at McDonald's?
I like it all.
By the way, I got to go today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, and do the chicken Big Mac. Yeah.
My managers used to get high in the walk-in freezer.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's nice.
But I do like the French fries where I'll be working. I listened to Kamala. She said it was so hot. It was such a tough job. But don't you have a man that's been doing it for many years at the French fries, right?
I want to learn everything.
I'm going to learn how to do it right now. Thank you.
2 hands. Circle each side of that. Shake, and then slowly back into the oil. That's good.
Kamala, in theory, should know how to do that without any help.
And see, now she can't go do it because she looks stupid. So this was, I think, a pretty strategically smart move on Trump, and the fact that she said she worked at McDonald's, so I'm going to go do one. And so now, and again, he sets up.
Mr. President, welcome. Thank you very much. I've spoken out.
It switched me over to a whole
Oh no.
Now do I have to go through the pre-roll?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man,
I could watch this all day.
I should be able to fast forward it though.
Is there just raw footage somewhere of his
on YouTube?
All his time there?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
No. I'll watch it later.
You'll love
It's like 30 minutes.
It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Do you want me to resend you something?
And the thing that's
resend
ironic
it to me. I'll do some words and we'll have it next. Okay, all right.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
It is.
I'm just gonna try to send you the raw footage.
They had footage today, Seth, of him in a barbershop, and it's incredible because he's in like Brooklyn or somewhere at a barbershop.
Is it a black barbershop?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes, it's just like pigmentation, and like you figured out that the barbershop is where the heart of the community is.
You said that?
He goes right in, and, dude, and it's awesome.
Oh, really? That's
he's
pretty
like,
cool.
he's like, I know you. As soon as I walked in here, I felt comfortable. I know you all. We come from the same place. We were all born the same way. Like the way he interacts with human beings.
Pretty much where we started it from, right at the fries.
It's unbelievable.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
'Cause
Did he get a haircut?
no.
Okay, I was gonna
No
say.
one touched his hair.
Okay. That makes sense.
But it's pretty insightful to do that.
Thank you, Abe. I appreciate it, man. That was a good one. We're gonna do stuff with Tuttle more often.
Is it Mosh who's still perseverating on the Hurricanes? Because I don't like looking at it all.
That's a few.
Oh yeah.
It's all. I mean, every homepage is that right now. It just gives me unnecessary anxiety. There's not. It's not coming here. Nothing's coming here right now.
Yeah, I know, but Macho's got it up.
Meteorologist Mike
The
Baker,
show,
aka Diddy,
two episodes ago, I said, and I know you're a football fan, man, and
Thanks,
I'm
Hoss.
sorry
Appreciate that,
your
buddy.
Jaguars
What up, Paul?
are struggles. I mean,
They say if Kamala wins, then this whole country will be like Detroit. Well, I say proud like Detroit. I say resilient like Detroit.
Don't forget PayPal,
This
Cash
is the
App,
same
and
Detroit that
Venmo.
innovated the auto industry and the music industry. So put some respect on Detroit's name. They said
All right, there you go. Chip said it. Free food or dry goods. Go to St. Pete Catholic Church, 22nd Avenue, South St. Pete.
Belittled in ways that no other voting group. Now, not a lot for former
From the hurricane.
Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked, why are black?
What's up, John Fustiga?
You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. Anybody see Eminem's concert? Like 100,000 people.
Really? Where was it? Michigan?
No, I think it was at like a race thing in Texas, maybe.
Oh, Circuit of the Americas.
Is that what it is?
United States Grand Prix. He did a little concert there.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of deceiving. That's not everyone coming to him. That's having a captive audience.
It's him and who else? There was another guy.
What's there?
Yeah, they talked about it on college football.
It does say that he's a huge act again because Formula One doesn't book chumps.
Yeah, I mean, he did like I don't know anything about the event, but it was it looked like it was a full scale concert.
They have, I think, 350,000 people come through those gates through the weekend.
Oh shit. So when do they do they do the racing during the day and then concerts at night?
Exactly.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the main event was last night, or yesterday afternoon at like 3.
Who's the other person, Lummy?
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
I mean, at the Miami one that we go to, Danny and I, the Miami Grand Prix, they have the biggest and best DJs. They had Post Malone. I mean,
okay.
It's who's really important.
Well, I think whatever they paid Eminem, because Eminem does not do a lot of shows, so I'm guessing they paid a fucking shit ton to get him out there.
F1's got
Unlimited.
fuck you money. They do.
He was wearing an Aiden Hutchinson shirt, the guy that got hurt from the Lions.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, Sting. Sting was there.
Oh, no shit. Oh, God.
I mean, come on.
Sting and Eminem, what a weekend.
Talk about two 20-year-old superstars.
With some racing in between. Hey, they're not fucking around, though, man. They weren't getting anybody you haven't heard of, you know?
No, for sure. What's up, Primetime Toys? Mike.
Eminem's probably wildly more popular than Sting, right?
Yeah, I would hope so.
I think so.
You said yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I don't want to be offensive to Sting.
In the
'cause
racing
I like
community, though?
I love Sting. What?
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo Studios.
Aquabedo.com, promo code BUBBA.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We'll do an after show today. Let's just call it 10:30.
All right.
And that's we're recording that for a podcast. That's only available wherever you get your podcasting downloads. You can start and stop if you like by going to Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Apple, Google Play, iTunes, or BubbaArmyHQ.com.
And I put out Pigmentation on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
For anybody that was looking for it.
Also, go to our YouTube channel. Start and Stop. Everything is available on our YouTube channel. Stuff that we don't even do for public consumption exclusively lives on our YouTube channel. Of course, make sure you subscribe and get a notification. That's youtube.com. And then, of course, at the Bubba Army. So appreciate you. Picking it back up, this is Trump, who's working as a French fry cook at McDonald's this past weekend.
Yep, you're good. You got it. So now lift it out of the oil. 2 hands. And shake, and then slowly back into the oil, and that's good. Good job. Good job. And then we got another one going off. So duty timer right here. And then
First of all, like I could work a French fryer because we have French fryers at the track.
Oh yeah.
We have one set of fryers for chicken fingers, and then we have another set of fryers because you can't cross-pollinate chicken with French fries.
No, you cannot.
So no, you can't.
Oh, well,
you can't.
Someone should have told that to 19-year-old me.
Yeah. Well, we have a fryer for onion rings and French fries, and we got a fryer for chicken, corn dogs, and chicken fingers. So everybody has their own little thing, and so
You should throw it all in one at Burger King.
button, good. And then
Tom Bean is a perfectionist, and he doesn't want anything that tastes like the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got some pretty damn good track food at our place.
Sure do.
And it's
Makes a
because Tom
difference.
Bean does things like that.
out the oil. Shake.
Hook it on the hanger, salt it, put it in the bin, then salt it again.
And back into the oil. Very nice. And then our last one is going to go off. I'm going to give that a few seconds. I'm going to make a few more fries. So that we got
Good.
some
Yeah, let's make some more. Got about 10,000 people out there.
All right, so let's see where you. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, where's the little thing?
Medium fry carton right here, sides, and then bottom.
The photographer's the guy's getting it like the guy should be like the McDonald's worker. I don't want to see his shoulders. I want to see Trump.
He steps away in a sec.
Trump boxing up the fries.
He steps away.
I like how everybody's standing like it's the national anthem's playing.
I would have a hard time not taking a couple out. I mean, wouldn't you?
Never even touch it.
Would you eat them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you got them, because those fries stay for like ever. Would you eat them or would you sell? I mean, you could probably sell them for.
And then you're going to put it right up here on this fry.
No, I'm taking a couple out each box.
Okay, can I give it to these guys here? Take it.
Well, I may have a couple.
Want to do another one?
Yeah.
So again, we're going to sides.
All right, so we're going. I think he graduates.
She's doing a good job?
Yeah, he goes to the drive-thru.
She better, right? She's beautiful. Let's go.
All right.
Go a little further. There's an Indian couple that comes up, and he's so sweet to them. And this
Next
is the part
car?
that MSNBC can't stand.
Do you like them both at the same time?
Yes, that is right.
Hello, how are you? You're a good-looking guy.
That's what you're gonna love, Seth.
Can you imagine
his drive-thru's the
going
best.
through and you're like, listen, I know I had some good sativa today, but I think I'm seeing Donald Trump.
You can call me a good-looking guy.
Handing me out my.
He does that to everyone. Oh, look at you. You're a great couple.
Thank you very much. I will.
Flattery means everything.
Thank you very much. That's on me. Okay? Have a good time. Thank you very much. I'll see you at the White House. Thank you.
He said it's on me, but what if he already paid at the first window?
We have another order coming up.
Well, I never got to do that, Bubba. I'll tell you that.
You never. Seth said
No.
Seth
Wave the
said
paparazzi.
when he worked the Burger King drive-through on Limeball that he would never had drove hundreds of fans just across the other way waiting for him to wave out like he's the Princess Diana.
We had teenagers come through on their bikes and try knocking on the drive-through window.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Hello, how are you? What a beautiful woman. Look at a beautiful child.
Grab her by the pee.
It's like the perfect looking person. That's good. That's your compliments. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Hi, Mom.
Good luck to
Look
you.
at Mom over there. Thank you very much. Thank you, darling. You have a great mom? Good or great?
Somebody,
Raj, good or great mom.
She would have banged Trump right in front of her mom and kid right there.
She literally would have said, reach in my car and grab my pee immediately.
I mean, I'm telling you, look at her face, man.
Pretty woman.
That's right.
I don't know why these people didn't take pictures like get out their phone and take a picture.
Bubba, I think there are rules.
Oh,
they have this.
Yeah.
They've
know
got
what
this
to say.
video.
Thank
She's
you
got
very
pictures.
Thank you, darling. Wow.
Work in the drive-through. You don't see Kamala work in the drive. We can't. As a matter of fact, we can't even find out which one she worked at. But I'll go on record knowing that I worked here. This one, store number 5624, just right outside of Pennsylvania. That's right.
So nice.
All right, you're doing a good job.
Okay, these are nice people we're meeting, huh?
I want to see him work the Coke machine. You know, have to do the ice with to put the lid on top
That's
of it.
right, yep.
I mean,
So your hands won't be too
Okay,
heavy.
got it. Larry, look at this guy. I'm not going to mess with him, huh?
How you doing,
You
sir?
look fantastic. Hello.
My new baby boy.
How are you? Your new baby. How are you?
Doing great.
Kids, how are
My
you?
niece.
So this is compliments of me, okay?
All right.
You go have a
Thank
good
you.
time. Don't eat too much, right?
are you calling me a fat ass? Why,
He's so big that he's like, I'm not going to mess with you. And then he says, don't eat too much.
So listen, I think it's Alex that may have said that you don't realize Trump's like 6'4".
Oh, he's a big guy.
He's 6'4". No, I think it was John Morgan actually.
Yeah, it was John Morgan.
Yeah, it was John Morgan, and John Morgan's like 5'9", 5'10", our height. And he was like, you don't believe, man, Trump's like 6'4". He's a big dude. I think Clinton was a pretty big dude too.
Have a
I
good
think
time.
every president's been over
Thank
6
you.
foot.
Yeah, they don't want a short
That's why
doggy dog in there.
DeSantis was wearing risers
It's cute.
and his cowboy boots.
This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job.
Yeah, you would.
I like this job. I think I might come back and do
Yeah,
it.
it's because nobody's bossing you
going
around
for
or
it.
yelling at you.
Wait till they turn the drive-through clock on you, and you got to get that stuff in 3 minutes or less.
Exactly. Wait till your manager starts greasing you, right?
And then the guy comes through and orders 6 Whoppers for all of his buddies because they're 99 cents, and you got to get those out, or you're going to start getting yelled at by the assistant manager.
Exactly.
Look at that. Look at that. How are you?
Oh, so they must not have
There's
had
cameras right there.
because this woman she has her camera out.
Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
Hey, Mr. President.
Hi, darling. How are you?
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much.
You are
for
not
everything
ordinary.
you're
I
doing.
can see.
We pray for you,
thank you.
and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very
So
much.
much.
Beautiful
One
wife.
picture?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you so.
Thank you
Have a
very
good
much.
day. God bless you.
Great honor.
Thank you.
Have fun. Isn't that nice?
This will be your next order, your next order.
Both of them? Okay. Hello, everybody.
He's so smart, Seth. He gives the
I'm
media
having a
fries
lot
at
of
the
fun
end of
here,
it.
everybody. Look at the fake. Look at all the fake news over there.
After calling him fake news, say you want some fries, fake news.
So he's got so hold on. They've strategically put an Indian person in there. They've put a black person in there. They've put a good-looking blonde in there, and now here comes the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, here comes the younger demographics. This is all by design.
Right, because you don't want if they just randomly just let the drive-through be open to anybody.
And you got the cesspool of the average community.
You might get a
right?
Jill Stein freak through there.
Right.
You never know what's going on.
Exactly.
I'd love to see him interact
You might
with
get an
somebody
AOC bitch up in there.
It could be AOC herself.
Yeah, but you know what? So now they've strategically put this is the younger generation.
Hello, everybody.
You can take this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
Oh, we'll keep it good.
Spanish.
Please,
Yep.
please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a
That's
pleasure, Mr.
compliments
President.
of Trump.
Look at
Yes.
the kids in the back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you over there. How you doing? Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you.
Okay,
Bye,
Brazil
darling.
does have Miss Bum Bum contest,
Thank you.
though. America does not have that.
That's true.
How good are these people?
Did you order anything yourself?
I'm going to take plenty. I'm going to definitely have French fries for the plane. Have you seen the people over there? That is thousands of people.
Clock's down, Mr. President.
That's great, huh? How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Here's my guy. Great cinematographer. Pretty good. No, a lot of people look forward. They kept saying, when are you going to McDonald's? And I said, let's do it. So and we have the owner. We have a man that's a friend of mine. That's a great guy. How many McDonald's do you own?
I don't know. I just set this up here. I'm the health club.
Yeah, but well, don't they go well? I know you're in the health club. I thought what you do is you eat McDonald's and you go to the health club. It works. I
think the Casper guy down the road, just literally down the road, I think he's like the largest might be one of the largest franchisees in all of Florida.
Oh, he is, yeah, in Florida.
The Castor guy.
Yeah, Casper.
Casper, and we've had him in the studio before. We've had the Casper guy in the studio before.
Actually, pretty good. Thank you, Doug. That's good. Here you go, kids. Go have this. There's plenty of them in there for you. Okay, grab.
All right, thanks.
You want to move them back? Yeah, you'll
sure.
let it. Here,
Sure.
Here you go.
What do you think?
All right, so
that's pretty much it.
I mean, but that's brilliant grassroots marketing, and are they calling it still a toss up? I mean, are they still calling it a toss up? Are they?
It depends where you're watching.
Yeah, it really does.
So CNN and MSNBC and most of the national media are talking about averages, RCP, Real Clear Politics averages. If you're looking at each individual poll right now, the trends are trending towards Trump making progress in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. I was watching a Tucker Carlson piece last night where he had Mark Halpern just analyzing the pieces of the puzzle on each map and where he stands right now.
So here's my favorite map. Like, this is my favorite. Brian showed
the road to 270.
Yeah, yep. Brian turned me on to this, and this is the best. And so this is like all swing states that are not figured in, and then every state the way it's trending, or the way that it that they're predicting right now based on polling numbers. And right now, I think Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia are all the states that are what they consider the swing states, what they consider is the road to the presidency.
Yep.
The way it looks at, if you take all of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 states out, it skews 226 Democrat, 219 Republicans.
Right.
But they're saying, Lummy, that I think Georgia right now they're predicting red.
It's leaning red now.
Right now, yeah, Trump's leading in the polls
in North
1.6.
Okay, and so when you look at the North Carolina poll, I think is skewing.
It's leaning red.
Leaning red.
Trump is 0.8.
0.8. Where's Arizona?
I think that's her best chance. I remember of the two, Nevada and Arizona, she has a chance of picking up one.
Is Trump +2.
Hold on, Arizona's Trump +2.
Yes.
Okay. Where's Nevada?
Let's see, Nevada.
That's probably her. That's probably her.
It's Kamala 0.5.
Yep, that's the lean blue.
All right, so hold on. There we go.
Yep.
Okay, and look, we're at 262, 232. I think Wisconsin is a tad her.
0.3.
Yep.
0.3.
You're right.
Okay.
That's lean blue.
Lean blue. Okay. Michigan.
Even.
I think it's even.
As of today, it's even.
Yep.
Even. So we're going to keep that tossed up.
Yep.
And then Pennsylvania, that's tossed up. I mean,
nope, that's leaning red now.
It's
that's the
red.
big one. That's why they're all there.
0.3.
Hold on. For real?
Yes,
and that's right now.
That's a 0.3 Real Clear Politics.
Hold on. At that point, it doesn't matter what Michigan does.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what Michigan does.
He's at 281 already without Michigan.
Give her Wisconsin, Nevada, and Michigan as long as he wins Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona. Is that why she's freaking right now?
Yeah, give her North Carolina, see what happens.
Okay. Give her North Carolina. Oh, hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, there. Give her North.
See, that's when it gets more important.
If
she takes North Carolina, then there's a way for her to get to the White House without Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're right.
North Carolina, Michigan.
So she needs Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Michigan. That's a running the table for her.
So hold on, Lummy. Out of Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina, which I've all marked as slight red, which one does he have the slimmest lead in?
North Carolina, right?
Let me see here. North Carolina was 0.8. No, there was another one that was 0.3. I believe that was Arizona.
All right. Give her Arizona.
No. I'm sorry. Arizona was +2.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's +2 Trump. That's
All right,
pretty
so
lean red.
what?
I think it was Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure Wisconsin was just a slight.
Well, no, I've given that to her already. Let me North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Where is she? You
could give her Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's 0.3.
All right, so let's give her Pennsylvania.
Wait, are we bigger than New York because we have 30 and they have 28?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a bigger population.
Yes.
Wow.
So Lummy, if you give her Pennsylvania, it's a dead tie damn near. 261, 262, and it comes down to Michigan.
But then she's got to sweep Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada. That's a hard pull for her. But yeah, she can.
Let's do this.
Give her that one, then it's over.
Hold on.
Game over.
If you give her Michigan,
276.
Hold on, but you give Trump Nevada.
Look at that.
She still wins.
270.
Like that. Oh my God.
So if she takes all of the states up north, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, if she sweeps that all, she wins. 270.
Oof.
But that's a big stretch if she sweeps it all.
So again, just like Brian said,
take Pennsylvania out.
No, like Brian said, it all comes down to Pennsylvania.
For sure.
Period. No matter how you slice it. Let's go blue here. Let's go blue in Nevada.
Look how close it is again now.
It all comes down to Pennsylvania. You win Pennsylvania, you win.
Yeah, but now if you give Trump the same sweep that you're giving her right now, if you give him Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania,
but he's not going to get all that.
Well, he's trending on all of them. If he did that like he did before, it's a 300+ landslide. Electoral college.
Well, it turns into a landslide. Yes. I mean, what's he trending in Nevada?
Nevada?
Yeah,
she's up a couple, I think.
No, Nevada. It would be. He's up 0.8.
All right. And where is he in Arizona?
He's up 2 points.
All right, so that's a lot.
She's got tough in the Sun Belt states.
And Georgia's, I'm sorry, Minnesota.
That's the blue wall.
Michigan is a straight up tie.
Yes, even.
Straight up tie. Okay, hold on.
Wow.
Straight up tie. And Wisconsin is leaning her.
Yes.
Okay.
By less than a point, wasn't it?
0.3.
Right, so look at that right there. Look at that.
Oof.
If you put Michigan and Pennsylvania as, that's kind of how it is right now. That right there is how I think it's gonna work itself out. And unless you give, because he's trending and he's ahead in Nevada, is he not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So right there, I mean,
look how close
268 to 236, and at that point, I think he only has to win one of the two, Michigan or Pennsylvania.
Yep, he only has to win one of the 4 blue wall states.
Oh. By the way, we will be doing, Seth, I think you agreed to it, and you think it's very necessary, and I do too. We're going to be doing an election show. I don't know if Danny's committed, but I know Brian has, and I think Dan did.
Yeah, I think everybody's committed.
Yeah. We'll be doing an election show. What would you say that would start at? Probably 8?
Man, I don't know. Don't polls start closing at 7?
Polls start closing at 7. You usually start finding out from certain states like Florida by 9-ish. We'll start finding out Virginia, some of the northeastern states that have closed.
I think we start at 8.
Okay.
We can get warmed up a little bit. There's probably be some states that that have already called it within an hour.
And we're going deep into the night and coming back the next day.
We're coming back for a week. 2 weeks maybe last time.
So we will do a show, Lummy, on election night at 8 o'clock. Probably 8 to 11.
Is there a scenario where we get an answer that night?
No.
Yeah, if Pennsylvania's out of it, we do, maybe. Because I think Arizona and Nevada.
Here's the thing, Jay. No matter how clear-cut the winner is, let's say she wins, or let's say he wins. Both parties have already set precedent that it's going to be a big whodunit. We got ripped off. We got stolen. So nobody is going to concede to any. It's going to be a big crap show. It's just going to be because we've already established that that's the way it's going to be.
Well,
that's the way the last one went. So whoever loses has already established, I don't have to concede. It's a big whodunit. Now, will the person that wins the Electoral College be the president? I think so. Even if there's a Johnny Sour Pants in there. I mean, he was mad as hell, but Pence still went up and did the right thing. Yeah, but now she's
the one that has to do it.
That's right. She
has to certify the election against her.
Oh, that makes this even more
Can you imagine
effery.
that?
Oh, yeah.
She loses. She has to concede and then go ratify it in Congress.
And then she won't. And then, so what's
but
the
they changed the law. She has to now. The law that they said did not give the law that they said did not give Pence permission to look at the alternate slaters, electoral, the people. What do they call
the Electoral College?
Alternate electors, and they were saying that he didn't have the ability to look at them, and then they changed the law. So now the vice president can no longer do what Trump said he was legally entitled to do because they changed it. So
now you
in
just
theory, she has to do it. It's ceremonial.
So
she
now
cannot
it's just
challenge
her
it.
going. It's whomever the vice president. It's just a ceremonious deal.
Yep.
You got to accept what the Electoral College. There is no chance
Alternate electors. That's what I was trying to say.
Vice presidential override.
Can't do it.
It's just nothing but a straight equation.
They changed the law after January 6th as a direct result of what Pence was allegedly going to do.
You can see where this is headed, man. This is going to be a shiz storm. I got to go do words. We'll wrap up the show next. Stand by.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show will be back after this.
Let me, who's got, out of Michigan and Pennsylvania, who's got the biggest lead?
Michigan, Pennsylvania.
What are the numbers?
Looking at it. Michigan's even.
I think he's doing better in Pennsylvania right now, trending.
In Pennsylvania, it's 0.3.
If he gets
It's
Pennsylvania,
0.3
it's
in
over.
Pennsylvania.
0.3.
Yeah.
Because that's a real clear politics average. It's not like the most recent poll, right?
It's the most recent of all the polls.
That's what I mean, the poll of polls, which is like, that's also taking like 2 weeks ago. So you got to look at the most recent polls. He's up like 2 and 3, and so they're averaging them, and it's only at 0.3. So yeah,
Yeah, like the last one they just posted, which one this weekend is Trump 3 points.
30 points exactly.
And last week Trump 3 points, 3 points.
Now, what about Nebraska? It's split into a 4-1.
It's that one district right there, that little blue point.
Yeah.
That if she loses Pennsylvania, that could decide it.
Because they go 4-1 on that.
Yep.
But I can't get it go. Now I can't get it.
I see. It was sitting there before.
You gotta go to the right, Bubba. See where it says split votes.
Oh, okay. Here.
The one below it.
So which one?
I'm not sure which district it is.
All right, we'll just go like that. Is it 4-1?
Yes, I think so. It's definitely one electoral vote.
My little poll thing only shows that Nebraska they have them favored by 20.
Yeah, except for that one.
What about Maine? Because I see there's 3 total, but we're giving 2 to blue and 1 to red.
I didn't see the most recent one, whether he's going to get that 1 point, because that one can make the difference for him. Without Pennsylvania.
Or her.
Right, without Pennsylvania. Absolutely.
Well, let's give that one to her. But we'll give this one to him.
Except I went to your Burger King on Saturday.
How was it?
It's the same as it always has been.
Horrible.
Slow.
Could you feel my aura through the walls? Yeah, I had my first kiss on the playground, Lummy.
They updated. I don't think there's a playground anymore.
Well, no, I'm telling you.
Oh, did you?
I'm just telling you as a man, as a friend.
Was it in the ball pit?
It was in like the slide area.
Nice.
And that's a kiss and tell right there for you.
That's pimp right there.
I'll kiss and tell. It wasn't great.
Was it an employee?
What's that?
Was it an employee?
Yeah, we were closing together on a Friday night.
There you go.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
And you caught a kiss in the playground?
Yeah.
How big a one?
I mean, big.
Like a French?
Yeah, it was just a little something. We got back to work shortly after. You like to get out of there, Friday, Saturday nights.
Yeah, especially when you made out with the assistant manager.
What did she do there?
Oh, we were all the same. We were all just,
Fry?
just, yeah. It was just managers and then people, and we were the people.
Did Danny tell you, Bubba, about Bella? She went to her first national trial competition as a second-year law student over the weekend. She got best opening statement, and they won. She's a national champion.
Oh, my Lord. How many more years she go, 2?
She got 1 more year, or year and a half left. And so I got trial team my senior year. They didn't really do 2 L's, so she's going to get 2 years of intense trial team. And she's a killer. She's going to be a killer.
And you're going to fold her right in, aren't you?
She already speaks the same language I do as a law student because she's competed. She's going to be...
No, but I mean, you're going to fold her right into the firm, are you?
100%. 100%. I'm so proud of her.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com, promo code BUBBA. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We'll be doing a after show, which... It's a recorded podcast, is it not? We're not going to be live anywhere.
It's Bubba Uncensored that comes out exclusively through Podcast Land on Monday.
There you go. It's Bubba Uncensored. It's exclusively a podcast. Wherever you get your podcasting stuff, go look for it. The only place you'll find it is in our podcasting land. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're calling that 30 to 35, okay?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
And you're going to wake him up today, Lummy?
No, sir.
Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him single out...
Yeah, even Dion called out Barack Obama.
That's right.
Black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And what... As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Waltz campaign to...
And do you notice that Clinton really isn't out traipsing around much?
Well, I don't know. I don't know
he did with Walls. Is the last name Walls?
Yeah.
Walls.
Oh, wait, this guy here, he can barely load a shotgun. Boy.
Lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons.
Former President Barack Obama singled out black men for their lack of enthusiasm for Kamala Harris when he stopped by Pittsburgh to campaign for a Democratic presidential nominee. The prominent Democrat said that he noticed the difference in excitement surrounding the Democratic nominee, particularly amongst young African-American men. Stephen A. Smith said, Barack, sit your ass down, buddy. So did Dion in a certain way.
Well, Bill Clinton was mistaken for Joe Biden at one of his campaign things.
When he went to McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, I think that hurt his feelings.
That hurt Billy's feelings?
Yeah.
The Monday Uncensored show will be a podcast only. It'll be up by like 2 o'clock. Go to our YouTube channel at The Bubba Army. Become a daily subscriber and get a notification. It costs you nothing. And you can get the podcast right there. There's a podcasting section. Jay, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Get me up at about 35.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for letting me finish. You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummit.
It's Seth, co-host and president of podcasting.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter programming.
Rhett, the filthy ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm back.